So, hey, you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. I just want to stop by here very quickly. I don't know why when I do my live videos, does it make the videos private? So I received so many emails today or yesterday of people asking me to unprivate the video. So I did, y'all. Sorry about that. Like, so I don't know why they do that. I want to mention some things because I hate being the person to be like, I told y'all so. I always have something like, how would I say? I always see the logic in things, right? When things does not make sense to me, it does not make sense to me. And sometimes I like say the things out loud because maybe other people who have sense, would say, oh my God, maybe this, Heffa is right. And I don't mind if you call me, Heffa, whatever you call me. I don't give a fuck. Let me stop. Because people be thinking when I get like that, I'll be like upset or something. Honey, I'm very passionate when I speak, y'all. If you don't know that about me, you know it now. Okay. And so, you guys, last night when I was doing that video, right, about the toys and doing the toysing ritual, which of course we're going to keep added on to that. Because, that's one video that's been requested by different people throughout a certain period. And I was like, I need to do something about this. I think one of you guys as well, like Little Mer, years ago was like, hey, you should do a video on, toys and stuff and pop culture and magic, also the good stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. But anyway, we're doing it. So y'all, let's say this. Okay, I mentioned very short that, a lot of people are wasting their money and time and energy with people who are trauma driven, people who are not elevating, people who want to stay where they're at, and that's okay. Those who know, those who, if you have a brain to think, think about this for a minute, right? So no one owns magic. No one owns energy, right? And even going into like the Wheel of Time TV show, The Magician, and charms along the way about magic, right? And so no one truly owns this, right? There's a source, there's an energy out there, a generator, and we all have the ability to tap into it, okay? And if you're able to channel the energy, you can channel the energy, but you can this energy flows, okay? So because I think that blah. So I do think there's things like peer pressure. I do feel like some people are so desperate and so hungry for certain situations. And so they have, come to a point in their do, if that means baby, do something, so be it, right? Then to sell and do things that we don't agree with or things that we know, ain't right. The only way that people who are trauma driven is going to make it in society with magic and the hierarchy of magic is through trauma driven peer pressure. They're not going to get people who are educated. They're not going to get people who have resolved their trauma. They're going to get people who does not want to heal, people who chooses to stay in their trauma. And that's how they're going to get it. And the flip side to this, because we see this now, one thing I love about this whole P. Diddy stuff that's coming out, and a lot of stuff that's been coming out, is that people don't sell their soul to the devil because the devil's even owned by the Most High. You cannot sell your soul to somebody who's owned by somebody. That's not how that works. You cannot sell your soul to someone who is owned by somebody. And the devil is still under God's rulership. Don't ever forget that. So you've learned during this P. Diddy stuff and the stuff that they're not talking about is that you don't sell your soul to the devil. You just do some funny, freaky shit for some change. And I think a lot of people have come to the conclusion, or they've come to the code of these people have sold their soul because they don't want to admit to being homosexuals. They don't want to admit to be, to have participated in, gay sex. And I think that's what it comes down to, because even going into a couple of hours ago, I watched a video of one of these YouTubers by the name of Storm Monroe. And I didn't see it for myself, so I'm going to say allegedly. But they were talking about how, Ray J was trying to, get in with this guy named Kai Cenat. I don't look at none of these people. I do, girl, I just don't have time to look at shit that doesn't inspire or elevate. I'm not bored with my life. I take my life very serious. I do have fun with life, but I do take it, very serious. I'm very appreciative of my life. But in this little diss thing, he was kind of going along the lines of, the LGBT titty bitty gritty community are predators when they want your booty. And although I kind of agree, on the backside, I'm looking like this is somebody who has an OnlyFans account. And y'all, from someone who's been in the adult industry for a very long time, who still kind of is in it, may not be directly, but I'm still kind of, got my hands and feet in there. And I'm not an escort. We're talking about behind the scenes production and all that. The majority of the people that support adult entertainment are men. Okay. The majority of people that are buying content are men. So they even have a thing back in the day called all porn is gay porn, because eventually men will get tired of, their normal vanilla stuff. Those who are into, porn, they'll get tired of their everyday vanilla life, and they'll start being curious about other things. And this will eventually lead them to having sex with the same gender. And so this is somebody who had an OnlyFans account and was like, these people will become predator. Now, allegedly, this man deleted this OnlyFans account. And I could kind of see why, because that's not content that I would buy. I'm not into, Oompa Loompa gremlin looking people. No shade. That's not me. When I think of a man, big, burly, he don't got to be muscular, but I think of a big person. I don't think of 5'2", leprechaun height, no neck having, Benzino. Like, that's not my type of tea. But I could kind of see why, because I don't think nobody was buying that content. But he got into this arena, and of course he's a journalist, so he's aware of who's buying content. And he clearly knew that his content was going to be bought by gay men. And because it is a has-been situation, allegedly, because he no longer has this content, now he feel like he can attack the same community that helped him somewhat. And I think he has a gay following. I think now he has some trans and gay, and bi and what's, whoever, whatever following, right? Because a lot of, the people of the community, they're into drama. They're into shady ass, situations. And he is very much a shady, alleged butch queen. So I was like, girl, like, So we've come to the conclusion that selling your soul is selling your soul into doing gay shit. And you clearly sold your soul. You know, you were this heterosexual man. This also even going to segue in as well, because he was also talking about something on the lines of gay people, LGBT people does not want gay people. They want heterosexual people. They will play this role and be like, my boyfriend's straight. And I'm like, I also agree with that as well, because I think a lot of gay men will play like they're bi, or they'll play like they're heterosexual. And I think that's why, you know, a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes and in the forefront. And we see where, like I said right now with Hollywood, a lot of the men that you fantasized about, a lot of the people that you thought about back in the day, 90s, 80s, 70s, all these people potentially has done something homosexual. And so it's kind of like, this is the devil, right? The gay stuff, right? This is the devil stuff, right? And so, like I said, that just kind of like put that out there. There's no selling your soul. You're literally just giving up your morals. You're literally giving up what you wouldn't do normally to make sure that you have a check to cash. Now, y'all, this happens on, many levels of the entertainment industry, going into your platforms, going off your platforms. Like I said, that's people business, that's not my business, but I did want to talk about that, and how, like I said, we know that there's not a devil situation in that sense, that people are selling their soul to a being and they're getting wealthy when this being is enslaved to the Most High right now. This thing that you known as the devil, as Lucifer, is controlled by a energy. And so when people choose to identify with that energy and they don't want to elevate, it's not just low vibrational and demonic because it's cute, it's fun. I was gothic. I grew up as an emo. I was a nerdy, dweeby type of person. I was very emo, very gothic, very, energetic, depressed looking, dark eyeshadow, fingernails. I love the color black, upside down crosses. That was me as a teenager. I didn't do drugs. I didn't rebel because, of course, it was the energy. It was the look. It was my way of expressing what was going on in the inside. And so I'm very much aware of all these things. But like I said, when I got out of that through releasing my trauma, I elevated. And so 2 things that I want to leave you with magically is that we pull from dark and light energy, but those who have healed from their trauma could go back down to 1 or can go back down to 0. Those who have always been in 0 cannot rise out of 0 and then come back down to 0. So all I was saying in last night's video was, you're coming to these dark sorcerers, these dark so-called witches, these dark alleged demonic, Satanists, because this is all alleged, right? I'm not convinced that 95% of people that I've seen that pretending to be dark witches, heavy witches, they might be messy, they might be miserable, they might be bummy and basic, but I don't think they're demonic. In that sense, I don't think the devil tells them what to do. They're sitting here channeling in the mirror and shit. I don't see that, because a lot of times, and I know this for sure, is that the devil don't play with pity. So a lot of people have self-pity, and the devil doesn't play with that. So they're playing in their own little, box. They think that, the devil's playing with them and shit, and it's them playing with their own self. It's their lower self fucking with them. And that's how that is. And so, like I said, being healed, you come up out of that, but because you came from 0 and now you're at 2, you know what it's like to be at 0. So you can channel that energy just for a little bit. And like I said, those of you who have studied the craft, when I talk about people who looked up shit on Google, when I talk about people who looked up YouTube videos on what black magic and what white magic, we're talking about people who actually studied, who've been to mystery schools, who've invested in their craft through, private sectors, private schools, private groups, private organizations. It will even tell you, you will even be told when you're practicing certain things and you have to get dark. Okay. And like I said, those of you who are claiming to be dark witches, because you have to learn from somebody, right? And I would think you would have learned from some top of the line people. I would think that you would learn from, the Church of Satan. If you're into that stuff, even people who are in the Church of Satan who have wrote books will tell you in these books, do not perform these rituals if you're under any type of mental psychosis and or under any type of controlled substance. They will not tell you, do this ritual while you're high, do this ritual while you're drunk. You know why? Because they know how energy work. And because you're in the human body, because you're in the flesh, you think that you have the ability to channel energy and to, I'm going to do this to do that. And there's words I want to say, but I know I can't say it because YouTube ain't going to play that. But there's things that you cannot do, that you will not be able to do. And it also becomes a mental disorder. And all we can do is just laugh at it when people out there thinking that they really are tapping into dark energy, but cannot elevate themselves, cannot heal themselves. They think that it's cute and it's demonic and it's devil friendly to be in and out of jail. That just gave them their stripes to be a Satanist. And it's like, girl, the most powerful Satanists don't have a criminal record. You know why? Because they've committed crimes and they got away with it. They committed crimes and it went unseen. It went unspoken about. It went unspoken of. And that's what it came down to. You're playing a game and it's a very dangerous game. And so you got people out here who don't know anything about the craft, who don't know anything about the arts. And they assume because you're in your sickness. Once again, it's called trauma bonding. Look that up. It's a real situation. And they think that you're something like, oh, I connect with this person because she gives me my mama. But these are the same people that got dogged out by their mama. These are the same people that got stumped out by their mama. These are the same people that got put up for adoption by their mama. So it is your trauma that has connected you with this individual. It's not because this person has awakened you or this person have taken you somewhere or could take you somewhere. Their job and their agenda, a lot of times they don't know it's their own. Because a lot of these people work for organizations, and I've talked about this before. That's why when it comes down to you getting close to me, baby, I'm already scanning you spiritually. Baby, if you're not letting me see your face, if we're not interacting outside of just talking through the chat and stuff, baby, you'll never have a chance to meet up with me. Because I know how these organizations work, and they're always trying to get people that got away. They're always trying to set somebody up. And of course, people call it gang stalking. That could be a form of that. But that's usually how it goes down. And so, baby, I'm very smart. These years I've been learning to protect myself physically. Okay, licensed and registered. Okay, hello. And so either way, that's where I was talking about. And what I was saying, these people cannot bring you anything good if that's the energy that they channel. You can only channel what you're used to. You can only manifest what you're able to obtain. And that's why even going into the entertainment industry, because this goes hand in hand, entertainment and obtainment and attainment is all the same thing. Something is being entered into something and is being obtained, retained, and ultimately gained. And so the energy that you are obtaining, the energy that you are retaining is the energy that you're able to pull through. So you cannot channel good energy if all you is a miserable, grumpy, hateful, jealous, don't like what you see individual. And that's why we're always speaking about, y'all. They tell you that this world is so dark and this world is so evil. It is. But there's still light at the end of the tunnel because people like me, and even going into commercials, they're always talking about get help, get help, get help, better help, mental health. Mental health is important. It's okay to refresh. It's okay not to be okay. These are clues and, little gems for you to, to wake up and say, you know what? I did not come from perfection. I don't know what perfection is. but I'm willing to learn a better way at doing this. Because the saddest thing to me is that people go through stuff like this. They go through, and I say this, everybody, if you're a person of color, if you're an LGBT person, if you're any type of minority in this world, girl, you could be blonde hair, blue eyes, because bitch, you don't see it as that. But those people are also minorities in a sense. Red hair people. Okay, we're not getting to the other stuff, girl, because we know that, girl. We all, some things we pick and choose. We know right from wrong, and we continue to do it. And then we want sympathy for our stupidity. We want people to accept, our ignorance or not knowing better. And so I won't get into that because, of course, that gets into body shaming and all that. And that's not what I'm here for. So either way, we all have been through things, even going into families, abuse. A lot of us grew up in abusive families. A lot of us grew up in verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and physical abuse. A lot of people are not here right now because of that. A lot of children were taken out by their parents. And I'm not going to get into that either because I know that could trigger, I know that could, excite certain energy. And so all I'm saying is when you go about it differently, because as some people say, a white person can't sit down and tell me how to live my life. Nobody can tell you how to live your life. Not even the celebrities that you idolize. They can't tell you how to live your life either. But when you learn how to do it differently at a more slower, steady pace, when you learn how to do it from a space of accountability and responsibility, when you learn how to do it not the right way, but like I said, just a different way, this is when things start to come to you. This is where you start to achieve what it is that you're desiring. This is where you start to feel fulfilled. And a lot of times people say this as well. Money doesn't make you happy. And a lot of people, they get money and they're still unhappy. So some people rather be miserable broke. I know people right now that said they don't ever want to get out the ghetto. They don't ever want to make money. They don't ever want to go to school because they're comfortable being where they're at because celebrities have problems too. But these are people that just didn't heal from their trauma. So the money and the energy and the fame just amplified their energy, as every experience does in life. If you're a miserable person, if you're a dark person, if you're somebody who has not learned how to do it the right way, every single experience is a setback, not a setup. Counseling, therapy, healing show you that all your experiences are a setup. It show you that there's a purpose and a reason for your life. Don't let people tell you and convince you that you're here for no reason. Don't let people sit here and convince you that 99 years is not enough time. The universe knows exactly what it was doing when it designed you. You knew exactly what you were doing when you decided to be here. 39 years, 59 years, 79 years, 89 years, 99 years is a perfect time to do whatever you need to do to make things right. And the flip side of that is, unfortunately, a lot of people has not been able to get it right. It's the flip side of that. Some people have passed away prematurely without building or without healing from their trauma. And that's the saddest thing for me. And so that's why every day I live my life working through things. Every day I live my life living it fulfilled. Think of what I can do to better myself, to keep my emotions and my mental health where it needs to be at. First and foremost, grounded. And so that's what it comes down to. You cannot channel light energy if you're dark and heavy. Dark and heavy is just trauma driven. Dark and heavy is misery. Dark and heavy is not taking accountability and responsibility. And as I said back in the day, what made me want to come on YouTube and start talking about things to show you that you could be through trauma, to show you that you could be in trauma and you could come out of that. That your trauma does not make you. Your trauma doesn't make you become an alcoholic. Your trauma does not make you become a drug addict. Because according to statistics, according to what society says, the shit I've seen, the shit that I've been through, I should be those things. But you know what? I'm not, because I take accountability and responsibility. I'm not, because I decided to get better. I want it better. I didn't want to be like my family. have anger issues because they're not speaking about their problems. So they fighting people and going to jail. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be like that. And so I said what I said, and I stand on what I said. And if anybody want to talk about it, I'm always open for conversation. I'm always open to learn something and to teach something. I'm always open to different perspectives. Because, of course, they said that the greatest wisdom is through experience. It's not through hearsay. It's through you experiencing it. What did you learn from these experiences? That's what gives you wisdom. Wisdom is not because you're of age. It's not because you've been on this planet a long time, because a lot of people have just been existing. They have not been living. A lot of people don't know what it's like to leave out of this country. A lot of people don't know what it's like to leave out of their county line. A lot of people don't know what it's like to eat food in Thailand. A lot of people don't know what it's like to be around other racial groups of people, including Black people, including white people. In this country, we are so culturally uneducated, it's not even funny. You assume everybody who speaks Spanish is Mexican, everybody who look Asian is Chinese, and everybody who, has that beautiful golden brown skin, they're Arab. Everything is biased, everything is racially driven. And of course, like I said, that's not really shocking, because this society has a lot of issues that we need to work through. These societies, we live in a society where we'll chin check people on what they do with their own life while our life is falling apart. There's a lot of kids in the foster care system. There's a lot of children that are being abused and abandoned and neglected. But we want to sit back and we want to talk about less than 7% of the population collectively. We want to sit and talk about less than 1% of the population collectively, when we're not taking accountability and responsibility for what it is that we do. So I hope, as I always do when I come out and talk about things, that somebody learns something from something. Somebody learns something from what I said. And if you don't, at least I spoke about it. At least I kind of put it out there. Dark matter only attracts dark matter. If you're out here and you're getting work done to bring in happiness and fulfillment, and you're working with somebody who is miserable, and, oh yeah, you want this man? Well, I'm about to separate him and his girlfriend from you, and blah, 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 blah. Y'all don't know who y'all dealing with. Y'all don't know who y'all doing work on. And that'd be another crazy thing too, that people be out here, they be so quick to throw energy at people and don't know who these people are in the spirit realm. Don't know who these people are in the astral realm. Don't know who these people are even in the physical. Who they deal with, what they do. Don't know what they sacrifice to get what they need to get. But you think it's cute because maybe a movie or a YouTube video of a toothless, fucked up skin, crypt, hermit crab looking ass bitch. And that could apply to anybody. That's not for one person in particular. Because here's what they be looking like, girl. Talking about some, I got magic for you. Act like they out here doing work with people, shit, girl, in the graveyard and shit. Girl, resurrect those dead babies. Y'all know I always got to give a little punch, a little read when I'm talking. Y'all know that, honey. Resurrect those dead babies, bitch. Talk about I'm putting a spell on somebody. I'm taking this to the crossroads. Yeah, while you're there, girl, repent for what you've been doing. Repent for the snot, for the conniving ass shit you done to your own family. And that's another thing too, girl. When you fuck with innocent ass people like your children, you can't trust no man or no woman who will fuck over their parents or who will fuck over their kids. I don't care what nobody say. I don't trust no man or no woman who have fucked over their kids or fucked over their parents. I don't give a fuck about you saying you didn't know better neither. Because I know people that didn't know better and it still came to their motherfucking senses. They knew what was right and they knew what was wrong. And even in all of that, even one of the people that I kind of got into, but girl, they never came out publicly and apologized for, being in jail and not raising their own kids. But all their content was about me. Little old me. Little old tranny me, honey. I didn't know little old me could have that type of impact on people. minding my business, speaking what I need to speak and keep it pushing. And I speak about things that I'm passionate about. Because I don't speak about it, that means I really don't care about it. So, anywho, I said what I said, and I stand on everything I say. And like I said, it comes a time where you have to apologize. Like I said, I'm open to be corrected. Okay. I'm open to be educated on some things. But for what I know, and I'm very experienced when it comes to life and when it comes to magic, when it comes to energy, because that's what the bottom line is energy. I'm very experienced with that. I know that you cannot channel energy, or you cannot attract things that you're not. You cannot tap into love source if you don't know what love is. You cannot tap into prosperous source if you've never held $100,000. You cannot tap into manifesting a house and a car if you're not even managing the little bitty shit that you got now. And if you were grateful for living a fulfilled life, you'll be grateful for all of your experiences and you will let it go. That's the first step. That's how you know somebody's ready to elevate with their life. They're ready to magnify their existence. They're ready to become what they're destined to become. They're not going to be holding their ancestors accountable. They're not going to be holding society accountable. That's how you know that they're ready to elevate, is when they take accountability and responsibility for what they could not change. I want to leave y'all with something. This just came to my mind right now. When things come to my mind, I like to touch on it. Okay? Let me touch on it really quickly. I'm going to encourage you all to get into the serenity prayer, because this is some deep tea, honey. And I believe this is going to help a lot of you to unlock some things. Okay? To unlock some things within you. Okay? It's going to allow you to release, when you were 5 years old, when your auntie, and of course I'm speaking of myself, girl, being told no. That's why I never ask people for shit. I like to work for my shit. And I guess that works out in my favor too, because I like to work for what I get. I don't believe in handouts. I don't believe in begging. I don't believe that anybody owe me anything. I don't think that anybody in this world owe me a fuck ass thing. So that little trauma that I had, where I was told no, where everybody else was enjoying some cookies, and my auntie told me no. And then, of course, she took back and was like, no, you can have it. It made me say, bitch, I ain't asking nobody for anything ever again. And so, anywho, it goes something like, oh God and Heavenly Father, grant to us the serenity of mind to accept what which cannot be changed, courage to change that which can be changed, and wisdom to know one from the other through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. And of course, you could take out the Lord and Jesus, amen, if you don't believe in that. Of course, you could take that out, but help you to, be okay with certain things in life. Be okay, release things that no longer serve you. You're 50 years old now. Let's talk about things that are happening right now and what is to come in the future. We can't go back into, and of course, everybody grieve differently. Definitely take your time and grieve. If something happened to you 40, 50 years ago, who am I to tell you to let it go? But I'm going to tell you this. That's what stop you from getting ahead. That's to stop you from having the life that you want to have. This is why you're looking at everybody else to live the life that you want. You want the business, you want the house, you want the car, you want the man. But this is why you ain't got it. Because you're not willing to let go things that don't serve you. And even going into confronting people. I told you, I confronted my people. I told you, even some of the people that I was not able to confront because they're no longer here, or I couldn't get a hold of them, I wrote them a nice little letter. And guess what? I didn't mail it off, but I wrote that letter. And I felt so much better. I felt so much better, y'all, letting that shit go. And so I encourage you all to move like that. I encourage you all to let go of things that no longer serve you. People who don't respect you. And I mean that. Going into whatever this is, y'all. And I'm even thinking about this as well. Regardless of how people, because that's manipulation, will make you think that you need them, regardless of how people will think, whether it's mother, father, dad, uncle, boyfriend, husband, wife, no matter how much they try to convince you that they need you or that you need them, you will need them, but they still disrespect you, they still make you feel like you're nothing. Trust me when I tell you this, your life is going to be so much better without them. You're going to do so much better without them. And what's the better part about it is your peace of mind. Yes, without them, you may not be a rich bitch. Yes, without them, you may not be, top of the line, a supermodel like they promised you would be because they were, photographer or they're a well-known designer. But guess what? You have your peace of mind. Guess what? You sleep at night. Guess what? You're 30 plus years old without any meds. You're 30 plus years old without any type of complications. You can sleep well. Hello? You enjoy life to the fullest. Ain't nobody stopping you and blocking you from receiving and achieving your blessings. And this is what it comes down to. Do you want to be living a fulfilled life, or at least what you think is fulfilled, being something and someone you're not? Or you want to live a fulfilled life being everything that you are and some? A lot of people look at other people and they think that certain lifestyles are for them. They look at certain people and they feel like that's how they should be living. But this is all a part of a fantasy. This is all a part of a false program. This is all a part of manipulation. This is what people were taught to like and to look up to. And in the end, people look back, and I can tell you, I go back into talking to older people. Most of my life, I've dealt with older people. My best friend / soul sister is 19 plus years older than myself. Okay. I have always dealt with older people. So, of course, a lot of them passed away, but a lot of them lived with regret. And even going to one of my favorite aunties, when she died back in 2015, that on her deathbed, she was really saying a lot of shit. And girl, it hurt a lot of people's feelings. They were like, oh my God, this lady could have told me this a long time ago. And even going into this as well, y'all, this is the crazy thing about it. One of my relatives, it took her to lose her child. And when she lost her child, she started to open up about trauma that she experienced from one of my auntie's husbands. And so it was like, girl, and of course, this wasn't a death. I mean, her daughter passed away, but she didn't pass away. So I was like, girl, this is why I live my life upfront and honest. This is why I cannot sugarcoat shit. This is why if I don't like you, I got to tell you I don't like you. This is why if I feel some type of way about you, I have to let you know. And it's not about me being insensitive. It's about me being free for me. It's about me expressing myself for me. And of course, I don't disrespect people. Of course, I'm not going to, if you have nothing to do with me, be like, oh, you're so unattractive, whatever, whatever. Unless you think I want you, then of course, I'll let you know flat out, you're not my type. But that's why I'm so upfront and honest. And y'all know a lot of people don't like that. I don't get along with a lot of my family because I'm so honest and so upfront. I don't get along with a lot of people privately because I'm honest and upfront. And a lot of them, they can't take it. And of course, it's their trauma, not mine. Because of course, you ask for my opinion, I'm going to tell you what I believe. Of course, if I see something that stands out and I'm like, listen, you want to hang with me? You need to work on this. And you're like, bitch, fuck you. You think you know everything? At that point, baby, I wish you the best with your life. And it's not me controlling. It's me saying, baby, I've been through those things. I know what it feels like to be in that. And I cannot reset. I cannot reset and go back. I invested too much time and energy into therapy. I invest too much time and energy into my lifestyle changes. My mind changes. I can't go back to that, babe. You're not going to have me going back to that because you don't want to, release. And so anyway, y'all, I know I kind of got into ratting and stuff, but trust when I tell you, honey, life is beautiful. Life is amazing. Life is fulfilling. Life gives you everything that you gives it. And don't ever forget that. You want a good life, you have to be good to life. Being good to life is living in your truth and not giving a fuck about what people think about you, because I don't. Girl, I don't at all. Like I said, I sleep good at night. I wake up good in the day. Sometimes people are like, well, you didn't let me know. I don't have to let you know. Bitch, nobody owns me. I don't own you neither. Bitch, girl, if I want to go skip and hop and jump, I want to book a ticket to Bora Bora tomorrow, bitch. I'm going to do it. I don't got to tell a fuck ass thing or person, but I'm going to motherfucking do it. You know why? Because this is my life. You don't own me, honey. Okay? A lot of you are owned. And you know, that's crazy. You're not really owned, but you think you're owned. So, you know, I mean, you know, that's how even the, you know, human trafficking and shit get going. You know, people thinking that they own the shit ain't really not. You know, what they say, they're enslaved and don't realize they're enslaved. And when you're free, bitch, they want to make it seem like you're the dumb one, you're the loony one, you're the different. Oh, I've never met nobody like you. That's not an insult. Trust when I tell you that I'm not insulted by that at all. I don't feel no type of way. My therapist say I'm cool. My psychiatrist say I'm good. Honey, my counselor say I'm good. These are professionals who've been doing this for a very long time. So yeah, I believe I'm good as well. I believe I'm good as well. So thank you for saying you never met anybody like me. Thank you. That's not an insult. Oh, you're a little weird, aren't you? Well, I guess I would be weird in a world full of trauma where people, you know, are sheeps and don't even realize it. When people are followers and don't realize it. When people do things because it's trendy and not because it's really who they are. As I said, I was always say, bitch, I'm not a spiritual advisor because it's a moneymaker. I'm not here to teach people and get people because it's a cash grab, because it's a good hustle. I see a lot of dark souls, a lot of darkness, okay, taking over people's souls. And I see people wanting to get help, but they don't know how. They don't know where to go. So you let society tell you that this group of people ain't right or this group of people is wrong. And that be the real true tea of why they don't want you to connect with those people. The oppressed. Like I said, less than 7% of the population. When those people are healed from their trauma, when those people are healed from whatever they got going on, or when they don't give a fuck, that's when they want you to, I will stay away from that. On the meantime, girl, they worrying about what the LGBT people are doing, but in the meantime, they got their own shit they should be worrying about. Girl, go get those kids out the shelters, honey. Go adopt you a baby, honey. Why you so worried about what the gays are doing? Girl, you know, wrap it up. Stop having babies with a deadbeat man. Why you worrying about what the gays are doing? That's what we really should be worrying about, honey. How to catch a predator. And I'm always say that. How to catch a predator, honey. How to catch a scammer. That's what we should be worried about, girls. Stop worrying about people doing that have nothing to do with you. Bitch, pay your taxes and worry about the shit that pertains to you. Okay? Pay your taxes and worry about the things that pertain to you and what you got going on. Because the LGBT ain't your motherfucking concern. Okay? Just so happen, okay, there might be, you know, some tea going on with a person in your life that might be a part of that community. But girl, that's the case, girl, we're going to hold everybody accountable. Just because it's a black man, right? No, that's not right. Pay your taxes and worry about things that pertain to you. Okay? Anyway, y'all, let me go. It's late. It's about to be 1 o'clock in the morning, okay? Let me see who's up in there. If there's somebody up there. Come on, Kika Shiva. I don't know why they make me do this. See, this is why I don't pay for this thing right here. This is why I don't pay for StreamYard, honey. They be doing too much shit. Girl, you used to be able to just tap the shit, people shit show up. Now they got it where you got to tap the comment, say show on stage, then it shows up. Girl, let me just tap it and the shit show up. Then y'all went from $25 a month to like, what is it, like $60 a month? Girl, bye. Girl, somebody done subscribed to y'all and y'all thought, oh, girl, this is how we're going to get our money. Listen, not for me. Not for me, honey. Okay? Anyway, y'all. Love and light, love and truth, y'all. And I will definitely be back, y'all. Like I said, the video of the toy, I'm sure y'all got the alert. You can see the video on there, on my little history. But yes, honey, I'll be back. And happy Thursday, you all. Take care until next time we meet. Okay, next time we talk, next time we see each other. Y'all about to take mine to bed, honey. Okay? Yes, honey, come on in here. Also, YouTube has had a lot of your old videos. Of course they are. Of course they are. Of course they are. Let me tell you what I think. And maybe we'll do a deep dive on this. And I'm hoping to team up with some people that's been hiding or doing some things behind the scenes. Right? There's a lot of these people. You guys, You don't become wealthy and successful off of just because you're talented. You don't become wealthy and successful just because you've done hard work. A lot of people are like, I'm a hard worker and I have 100-something thousand subscribers on YouTube because I edit my videos and all that. Girl, trust when I tell you that. No, there's a lot of people that got edit videos that only get 5 views. There be a lot with a lot. And I can tell you, because I've had a YouTube partnership before. See, a lot of people don't talk about it because they're afraid. Everybody want to get that check. Baby, I'm getting my check, but I'm getting my check through the people. I'm not, like I said, I'm not waiting for a handout. I'm not expecting to get paid or to become partner with YouTube or anybody like that. Honey, I have supporters that support me. Okay, and it's damn good. A lot of these people are sponsored and connected to agencies and see, they kind of be telling themselves too. I mean, they be telling themselves, y'all. Or they be like, oh, you guys, anyway, I won't get too deep in shit, but they're sponsored and they have managements and stuff, right? And these managers and these agent girl, they be connected to some people, to some shit. So these people be successful because of that. And a lot of times they're not getting their money through their YouTube alone. They're getting money through sponsors and people supporting them because of the content that they're talking about. That's why a lot of people sit up here and they'll talk about how they have 1 million views on a video, but they're barely making any money on YouTube because your money comes from sponsors. It's not just from your views and your clicks. It comes from your sponsors, and it also comes from if you're putting out any product. So like I said, there's a lot with a lot. And I just be like, girl, you're like that on this platform because you're an ass kisser. You're a sellout. You're willing to do anything for a check. A lot of these people, y'all, you remember back in the day, you want to tap into some energy very lightly, politely. There was a YouTuber that came out and was acting like they were in a whirlwind of people. They act like they were in a whirlwind of, they were attacking everybody. They were attacking all these YouTube broadcasters, right? And people, they were like, well, where did this person come from? Where did these group of people come from? These people are like in their 40s, right? And during this time, they were in their 30s. So just like they appeared out of nowhere. But it dawned on me during this whole process, y'all, where I kind of stood back and, people were doing their things and they're like, oh, hey, I have to do. Like I said, I won't get into that. If they're ready to come out and talk about it, we'll talk about it. But it's so amazing to see this person go from that to now they seem to be groomed. They seem to speak well. They don't really bring up other people's names anymore when they're doing their talks. They're presenting stuff now. They're getting their views. Like I said, they're getting their clicks. They're getting paid, allegedly. Now, of course, they wouldn't be able to show you emails from any paid clients or any clients that's currently paying them. What they could show you is sponsors. What they could show you is people, the organization that they're a part of that pays them. Okay, that pays them, but it's not through YouTube. Have them to show you a YouTube check to see what that YouTube check is looking like. Have them to show you a YouTube check. And that's it. So like I said, I know for a fact that, and of course they sold out. Of course, they're one of the holes now because one of these YouTubers was a pimp and shit out here pimping these people and shit. Girl, people fell for the bullshit. Girl, bye. And they talking about me being a Jezebel spirit or shit. This was a escort. Girl, listen. I don't got a criminal record. I didn't write no bounce check. I wasn't defrauding the government or any bank accounts. Bitch, hello? I wasn't fucking up nobody's household. I didn't get pregnant by a married man. Bitch, I went out here using my deceased grandmother's information to buy my house or anything like that. I went out here doing fraud or any type of scams. So, bitch, let me be a hoe. Let me be a hoe, girl. I know everybody who I did it with, their names and their identities and all that. And most of them, I know their driver's license numbers too, because, bitch, I was a smart hoe. If you want to go there. But a lot of these girls, they be hoes for free. A lot of these girls, they be hoes just because they find somebody on YouTube attractive. I mentioned this before, and I said this again. I'll say this again. I find some of these people attractive, but attraction don't get me. Bitch, I'm not a Jezebel spirit. I'm not a hoe. I'm not a basic sideline bitch. But you're not gonna play me. You're not gonna use me, oh, I'm an agency owner and I'm out here trying to scout the women. Cause that's what they be doing. I'm out here trying to scout the women. And sometimes their mothers be the main madam. And girl, they do little meetups and stuff, little group meetups, girl. They call it witch showdowns. And it'd be a fuck fest without her worrying about what the trainers are doing and they licking other people's vaginas. Make it make sense. If I was a lesbian or I was a gay man, and every time I turn out I'm reading a transgender down, it's gonna look like one or two things. It's that I'm either jealous of that person because I want to be them, or jealous of that person because I want to fuck them. It's gonna be one or the other. You cannot be openly who you are and be worrying about what the next bitch got going on. And of course, we talk about the non-binary people because I think the trans people, and I keep telling you this, I think the trans community is such a small community. I think that it took a lot of years for us to get some type of recognition, a lot of years for us to get some type of support, some type of, limelight, that makes sense, outside of just being a hoe, a prostitute, whatever. And then all of a sudden you find people that find loopholes to come up in it. Now everybody's non-binary. Now everybody is, transgender and questioning. So I always speak about that, but I don't come out and particularly attack one person in particular. I say what I say as a collective because that's usually how it go down, right? It usually go down with collectively. People started following a trend, and that's how we got the non-binary movement. People wasn't following the transsexual movement. I mean, I don't believe, unless you're from a project and you don't know anything about what a trans is or any of that. I mean, maybe, but people was not following that trend. That was an actual medical diagnosis. People were going to their doctors. They were asking questions. They were like, something doesn't feel right. And this is where they got their answers to their questions. But now let's go after 2016, where this military man comes out and say he was non-binary, which by the way, he's not that anymore. Now everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. Now it becomes a medical, little subcategory. And it wasn't medically subcategories based off of psychologists and doctors. It was organizations like GLAAD, which was an infiltrated system, as I mentioned before, who was imposing that. And said, well, there's some people that don't feel like they're quite male or female. So what would you call them? Girl, the transgenders are already less than 2% of population, less than 1% of population as whole. Girl, y'all trying to make something that's already complicated even more complicated. Like, girl, just leave it where it's at and keep it pushing. Okay. And so that's why I talk about that. And I continue to talk about it. It rubbed people the wrong way. And a lot of people now think collectively that a small group of people are all the same. And it's very similar to how people view Black people, right? How y'all should be upset about how your fellow Black people act. If a Black person is ignorant, disrespectful, they do fuck the bad shit, like rob people, kill, steal, you should be upset at them because they're representing you as well. So now everybody is thinking that all Black people are ghetto. Now they're thinking that all Black people are this and that. And now y'all upset about it when y'all fucking got people fucking telling people that's what it is. Very similar to people, oh, people want to touch my hair. Thank God, thank the heavens, I've never had a Caucasian person want to come up and pat my hair. Praise you, Jesus, because they would have had a reading for their motherfucking life. But then y'all have videos out here on YouTube and Instagram and all this other good shit of how to make sure your lace front is melted down, how to make sure you lay your tracks. Quick weave 27 piece. You goddamn right. Even as a Black trans person, I'm going to want to pet your hair too. Because I'm going to say, now, is that a 27 piece? Is that a lace front? Or is that your actual hair? So y'all mad at the people when y'all giving the people shit to be mad at. It doesn't make sense. And so that's like saying, I'll continue to say, this is why I hold the non-binary people accountable. If you're non-binary and you don't know which gender, what sex you want to go by, or you choose not to fit in anything, then present yourself as a unisex. They have unisex clothing. You can present yourself as unisex so people don't know if you're male or female, and they might call you an it. But to be like, I'm going to intentionally blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I talk about that because I feel like that affects me and my motherfucking rights. It sure in the fuck does. And a lot of y'all should be holding your community fucking accountable too for the bullshit that they put y'all motherfucking asses through or preventing y'all from getting a hold of. And that's why shit is fucking haywire and fucked up now, because you're not holding people accountable. It's okay for your people to act out a certain way. And you're like, well, as long as you don't bother me, it doesn't matter. But girl, it does bother you. It does pertain to you. Because people as a whole is looking at that person as a part of your community. And I think that's how you all get down. Girl, if you look on the news and you see blonde hair, blue eyed man, and he's committing crimes, or let's say it, because it could be a man or a woman. I'm just using that as an example. If you seen a being, no, fuck it, let's take that out. If you saw a person that was purple with blue polka dots, every time you turn on the news, a crime committed or whatever was done, bank got robbed, schools got shut down by a purple skin, blue polka dot person. Wouldn't you just, without even thinking about it, all of a sudden when you see a purple, blue polka dot person, you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute, They like to shut shit down. I think I'm going to walk over here, or I think I'm going to, girl, that's human nature. That's called common sense. That's called surviving. That's called survival instincts. That's called fight or flight. So if you're not doing that, then something ain't right. Something ain't right. If you're getting the same information that we all getting, but you're like, well, it's okay because who am I to judge? Because they said a thing about you. And I'm like, girl, I wish I worked all the way around. Going into my sister, I love her dearly. We talked about this before. The non-binary, we also talk about Tyra Banks and Naomi Campbell. Now, allegedly, because we know, as we talk about very lightly, and I'm really going to be done after this. We talked about celebrities selling souls and all this good stuff. So, of course, she's upset about Tyra Banks because Tyra Banks, girl, come on in here. That Tyra Banks did America's Next Top Model, and on her show, she was acting like a bitch. Now, mind y'all, this is a scripted show, girl. She don't have to tell you that it's scripted. Anything that's showcased is scripted, girl, because we know that TV, they will not let weird shit happen on TV. We know this, girl. Look at Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake during the Super Bowl, where he allegedly ripped down her top and they got fined. So they're not going to let any and everything on TV. Clearly, TV shows are scripted. So she's upset at Tyra Banks because Tyra Banks played a bitch. But in reality, she loved Naomi Campbell. It's not about picking and choosing, because I like Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj is really talented. I don't care for Cardi B because Cardi B is not really all that talented. Cardi B is a caricature of what a female Black rapper is, and I stand on that. Whether she's a Black Dominican or not, she's a caricature of what a Black female rapper is. Mama was a stripper turned motherfucking rapper. Mama was a manizer turned motherfucking rapper. Mama openly talked about how she drugged clients and shit to get her motherfucking money turned motherfucking rapper. Okay, let's talk about it. So, going into that, Naomi Campbell, girl, now that things have come out, Naomi Campbell's on the Epstein list. Naomi Campbell has always been around people that are alleged perverts. She's always been around people that are alleged pimps. So allegedly, and from the people who are looking, who have common sense, fuck the dumb shit about what they're acting like on TV. Naomi Campbell has also been arrested and done time, including community service, for being abusive to assistants, to being abusive to people that she thought was less than her. Bitch, Tyra Banks was being rude and disrespectful to people on her motherfucking TV show. And like I said, I've auditioned to be on a TV show before. I shot pilots for reality shows before. Bitch, you have to sign fucking contracts and they tell you that you're in motherfucking danger. They don't just let you be on a fucking show, girl, because they know you're going to come out eventually and try to sue. Girl, these people ain't stupid. So what you're doing is you're playing this role because now you want society to have pity for you because you went on a show and you flopped. So now it's Tyra Banks' fault because you fucking flopped. No, it's not. You flopped, bitch, because you didn't have it. And then I think that my sister was like, well, she also made people cut their hair. And then she was also saying how they look bad with their haircut. No, she made them cut their hair and they had a photo shoot directly after the haircut. They looked cute. I think the reading session that she had for these people was that they were not keeping up with the hair color. They were not keeping up with the hairstyles. They were giving fucking rejects and shit. And I feel the same way too. If I had a magical academy and I'm teaching y'all motherfucking magic, y'all doing magic sloppy as fuck, I'm going to be a bitch too. So like I said, would I hate on a bitch that played a bitch on a show, an evil bitch on a show? Or am I going to hate on a bitch that really is evil? Naomi Campbell's really an evil bitch. And I'm convinced that that's a transgender. Okay, I'm convinced that mom was born a male or at least a hermaphrodite. Bitch, and I'm not taking that back. And it's not about liking who, because Tyra Banks has been on, it's just about girl. I know good energy when I see good energy, and that bitch ain't got good energy. Tyra Banks has good energy. So if you don't see that good energy, I'm not saying that you're not right. I'm not saying that you're not of the light. I'm just saying, baby, I know good energy when I see good energy, and I always call it for what it is. And even my sister and I, we've been in a situation where I called out people and said, these people are fake, they're fraudulent. She gave them the benefit of the doubt, and they kind of found out they were fake, they were fraudulent. Because they were kind of calling her a pansy. They were calling her stupid. They were making fun of her. And I'm like, see, I know my shit. Bitch, you don't fool me because everything that, what they say, everything that glistens ain't gold. Just because you shimmering and sparkling, you're going to make me think that you're golden. I see through that shit, girl. Like I said, makeup. You can't couture and highlight your face and fool me, babe. I still see the structure. I still see the blotchy ass skin. I still see the fucked up ass demonic ass face. No matter how pretty you think you look with that highlight and that couture. So that's what I'm saying. Is that, girl, these people be selling out. These people be top of the line, not because they're talented and they look so beautiful. Because we can find many black girls that look better than Naomi Campbell, even in the 70s, 80s, girl, 90s. She ain't that old, 70s, 90s. Girl, there's girls that are more beautiful than her. But we know that mama made it, especially when the industry was looking for lighter skinned dark women. We know that she made it because she was seen with a lot of people. And I'm not saying, because we don't know, but allegedly, she was a hoe. Allegedly, she's an industry hoe. That's why she's now. And I think that her TV show Face Off, tapping in and not tapping in, was a chance for us to see that mama is a maternal being, that mama is a nice person. But see, fuck what the show is showing. I want to see your reality. Reality, you're evil. Reality, you're conniving. Reality, you're fucked up. And of course, I'm looking at the Epstein. I'm looking at all the people who shit this bitch got pictures with since the 90s. And I'm like, this why this bitch is a shady ass bitch. This why this bitch has a fucked up ass personality, because she's taking what she been through out on innocent people like her assistants and her housekeepers. That's what goes on. And paparazzi. Girl, you know what it's like to be famous. You know what you signed up for. When you go to a modeling agency, they have people that actually train you. It's called PRs. Your PR team train you on media. They tell you, girl, especially in the 90s, girl, they tell you what to do and not to do. So like I said, mom was being abused, and that was her cry out for help. Like I said, Tyra Banks was on a show playing an evil bitch, and it really wasn't all that evil. She didn't call nobody out their name. She didn't say, girl, you look like a hoe. Girl, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy. So I'm just like, girl, at the end of the day, you never got a reading session? Because that's what I'm saying. Growing up in a household, like I grew up with people that kept it real with you. I didn't see that as being rude or being disrespectful. I want you to tell me, judging, critique Lee. Okay, girl, I was a supermodel for 20-something years. I was in Victoria's Secret, which is the hardest fucking company to work for. I was in Sports Illustrated not once, not twice. So this is what you do? I would definitely take what you're telling me and say, I want to learn from you. Versus, well, I don't know about the modeling industry. Once again, I do. And be like, well, I really don't care about her because she put these girls through turmoil. So we're gonna hate everybody who put people who, like, girl, we're gonna get mad at the military sergeants who yelled at the corporals. Girl, we're gonna get upset at the principals who put children in detention because they got out of line. We're gonna get upset at these coaches and oh, you're evil and you're mean because you benched that girl because she got into a fight before the game. What? Like, it doesn't make sense. So, like I said, people got to sell out to be successful. That was the whole point. Now, people got to sell out to be successful. And the ones that are innocent and sweet, they have to make it seem like they're the evil ones. And it's kind of like their way of saving grace. Okay. It's kind of like their way of saving grace. Okay. And it is what it is. Going into Cardi B, going into Nicki Minaj, you have an industry hoe and you have a girl that played like she was an industry hoe. I think Nicki Minaj is picky about who she fuck on and who she let fuck on her, no matter how freak nasty she is. Going into Cardi B, I really believe that she have fucked and sucked on a lot of people. I think they have ran her through the motherfucking mud. I think that she thought that Offset was going to save her, allegedly, and it didn't work out that way. I still think she's an industry hoe. And I don't gotta have girl bye. We can tap it. Like I said, we tap an industry because we're not there to witness that. But we can look at standards, who has standards and who doesn't. Just because you put lipstick on a pig don't make it a woman. And Cardi B is a fucking pig with lipstick on it, respectfully. Nicki Minaj is a woman with lipstick on who may act like a pig. Okay? Get that correct. Okay? Naomi Campbell, same way. That's a pig with lipstick on. Girl acting like she's so sweet and she was crying. My sister was like, she was crying for a girl she was saving. But this was her fucking show. And she wanted to play this role. You know, and goddamn well, girl, that mama, girl, is this girl a well-known supermodel? Did Naomi Campbell lay down her career online for this girl to be a top model right now? Is this girl doing shit? Is she worth $93 million right now? Like, fuck the dumb shit. Like I said, you can't play me with no fucking role playing girl. You can't play me with no fucking character. Oh, her character was evil. Girl, I'm not judging her for her playing that role. She was hired to do that. And if you want to call that a sellout, so be it. So that's the case. We all sell out then. Because you may not really be a nasty ass bitch, but you're a nasty ass bitch for money. You may not really be a bossy bitch, but you're a bossy bitch for money. Am I correct? There's a lot of people that are corporate owners, bosses, business owners, and they act like they're tough, but behind the scenes, they're weak. And I know this because I was a femdom, and I still am a femdom here and there. I was a femdom for 8 years consecutively. And I had a lot of judges, people that were strong-figured people, and they can't see one, and they want to be treated like a bitch. So, like I said, I guess we all sell out, right? So be it. Okay? Like I said, I guess we all sell out. I mean, because girl, you can't convince that everybody is nasty because they're nasty. And girl, anyway, I won't get into that because girl, say that. That's what it comes down to, honey. Okay. Notice most people are lying concerned with serious shit. It is thought factor. And that's the crazy thing about it, Jay. I was actually saying this too about this whole Donald Trump shit. I'm like, at the end of the day, nobody really cares about what's going on because they'll be out here doing other things. They'll be really doing shit. I think that TikTok and many other platforms is a shock factor platform. I think the new way of people making money now is to talk about things that are trendy. So people who are not really into things will act like they're into things just to get a part of the trend, just to be popular, just to be out there. And that's my personal opinion. You're not going to get me looped up in that because I know what people are doing. You're not getting me looped in to you acting like you're a Trump supporter and you're really not. You're not going to get me looped into thinking that you are actually for Black people when you really don't like Black people. Okay. And allegedly this is Kamala Harris because people keep saying Kamala. I'm like, girl, her history is just as equal as fucking Donald Trump's history. No shade. So somebody else should have won. But like I said, people like to pick their villain. That's okay. So like I said, it's a trendy topic of what's going on now. And that's why people are talking about this topic since it's trendy. But I've seen some of these people and I'm like, girl, you really don't give a fuck what's going on. Girl, you don't care. You probably didn't fucking vote. Everybody here is shocked that Donald Trump won. They didn't even fucking vote. Can you show me your registration card? Can y'all show me that you registered to vote? The fuck? Y'all act like y'all so shocked. Oh my God, I can't believe this man won. You didn't even vote. You didn't even vote, girl. So ultimately, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And then, girl. Anyway, like I said, y'all keep playing with the trend shit, girl. That's your business, not mine. Go ahead. Y'all keep playing with the trend shit, girl. I just know when I have my kids in 2 or 3 years, bitch, they ain't gonna be doing a fuck ass thing like that. And it's not me controlling and whatever. Girl, they're going to be surrounded by everything but stupid ass shit like that. Okay? They be trying to seem like Tyra's the nutcase. Right. They be trying to make it seem like she's a nutcase because you know why? She's not a sellout. Now, do I believe? Now, let's be honest. Do I believe that Tyra Banks is innocent completely with the industry stuff? No, I don't. Do I think that Tyra Banks was possibly an industry hoe as well? To a degree. Not as open and lavish as Naomi Campbell. Definitely not. But I do feel like she was picky and choosing with who she was going to be nasty with. Because even looking at her current husband or situation now, that's not her type. That's not her type, babe. Looking at her current situation, that's not her type. Let me tell you a good example. Like Eve and her Maximilian husband, that looks like her type. I think that Eve was playing like she was this gangster, thuggish ass black. Oh, fuck the nigga, gutter. I think she was playing that role. Eve and her husband look like that is her type. Because, and I won't get into that, but that look like that's her type. They look compatible. They look like this is a real situation. Looking at Tyra Banks and her husband, I'm like, I'm not seeing this. This is some type of like hookup thing. This is some type of connected job thing where it's like, girl, well, you know, your legacy, let's build a legacy together. Because, girl, you were top of the line, so something ever go down with you, you still going to have something after this. Like, that's what I personally think. I also think it was a smart business move for her to be with this man. But like I said, that's it. So do I think she's innocent? No. Do I think that she's, you know, industry promiscuous? To a degree. But at the end of the day, there's no stories of her hitting nobody. There's no stories of her drugging anybody. There's no story of her hanging out with a drug or drugger. Ain't no stories about her manipulating women and sex trafficking them. Can we talk about it? She have no criminal record of throwing phones at assistants and secretaries. Now, fuck the dumb shit where you had Jay Manuel and these other people saying that they worked on set and mama hired and she said, I'm gonna let it go. Girl, a lot of times as a boss, you're not connected with people energetically. A lot of times you're not vibing with people. And that'd be another thing too. A lot of people be trying to be friends with you when you're trying to keep it only business. I'm very selective about who I want to get to know and connect with privately. Just because we're compatible business-wise doesn't mean we're going to be compatible privately. Because, bitch, I don't need you to agree with everything that I say for us to be cool and close, but I also don't need you to be like, well, every time you say something, I got to challenge it. Girl, the fuck? That'd be like me checking you. The fuck? So the same thing with that. I think that Jay Manuel felt some type of way. Janice Dixon's another thing. I mean, half the time, girl, mama, you know, was on and off payments, high and shit. So I don't believe anything she fucking said. Now, can anybody else come out and say, can Kimora Lee Simmons come out and say that Tyra Banks was a bitch to her? Because she's a real ass person. Can she come out and say, can we have random photographers coming out and saying, yeah, Tyra was rude? Can we have photographers that worked with Tyra Banks and say, yeah, she was snapping at me? Can we have any of Tyra Banks' assistants come out and say that Tyra threw a phone at him? Tyra pushed them down a flight of stairs. Tyra called their mother out their name. Like, that's what it comes down to, babe. Publicly, you can have whatever persona, whatever look. Like I said, a lot of people probably don't like me because they think I'm rude. They think I'm, you know, insensitive. I don't really fuck with you. I don't like people like that. Listen, if that's your tea, that's your tea. Behind the scenes, we know what it gives. So it's the same thing with Tyra Banks. Behind the scenes, I know what it's given. I see the light in that woman, honey. Okay? I see the light in that woman. When it comes to Tyra Banks, Miss Naomi, girl, she's a beautiful woman, but the devil wears motherfucking Prada. Okay? According to history, she like to fuck a bitch up. Now, like I said, if y'all need me, so we could do some spiritual readings on Tyra Banks and Naomi Campbell. And it'll be an unbiased situation too. Y'all need it to. We could definitely tap in on that. We could do a celebrity reading. We could read Naomi. We could read Tyra. We go down a list, bitch, from motherfucking 1991 or to motherfucking 2025. And if you need to, we go from 1991 to 2091. Bitch, we'll touch A to motherfucking Z. We'll skip, scrap, hot touch all around 48 states plus 2. Can we talk about it? We'll go all the way around. We'll go all around the world. We'll go to St. Lucia, over to the Bora Bora, wherever they took photo shoots at. We'll read each and every motherfucking scenario. Because see, the tea of it all is that Tyra was not at those parties. And that's a lot of girls can't take. But guess who was at those parties? Naomi was. She was at P. Diddy parties too, allegedly. You gotta say alleged, girl. Hold on. Allegedly. Tyra Banks wasn't at those parties. And that's the reason why I like Wendy Williams as well. Y'all may not like her, but I like her because mama didn't fuck around with people. She did her thing in the past, but girl, mama was a private coke addict. She wasn't going to no parties to snort it with people. She did that shit in her home, girl. She didn't fuck with people. Let's get high together. She didn't have high buddies. She went home, left her job, got her shit, and went home and did her shit. Same thing with drinking. She wasn't drinking and smoking with people in public, girl. A lot of these girls wanted to do it with her. We're not gonna say no names, guys and girls. But mama's a private ass bitch, and she said it publicly. I cannot be friends with y'all. I could say hi and bye, but we can't be friends. Same thing with Tyra Banks, girl. She's not an industry hoe. Naomi is one, allegedly. Then she's in every motherfucking photo shoot. Girl, super model, and even all that fucking pretty girl. She ain't all that damn pretty. She cute, but she ain't all that damn pretty girl. Chinese and African girl. Is that what they say she is? Girl, we can find 20 more African and Chinese that's her same age that look 10 times better than her ass girl. Mama got those deals because she was a hoe, allegedly. Allegedly, she was a hoe. And because she didn't go to therapy to release that abuse because her mama dropped off in the motherfucking industry. Because see, that's the other thing too. She was jealous because Tyra Banks had her mama. Tyra Banks' mama, Miss, what's her name? Jacqueline. What's her mama? What's Tyra Banks' mama name? Catherine? Let me see. I forgot her name. What is Tyra Banks' mama's name, honey? Tyra Banks' mama's name. Let's get into this, honey. Let's get into Tyra Banks' mama name. And why did I type in Tyra Banks? The fuck? I never looked that person up on my phone. What is her mother's name? Oh, Carolyn. Oh, Catherine Carolyn. Same thing. So that's what it was. Naomi was so jealous, allegedly, because Tyra had Carolyn everywhere she went. Now, sometimes Carolyn said, I'm going to let my baby go out and do her thing, because, of course, Carolyn couldn't just go, jump and go, that type of thing. But she was so upset that Tyra had her mama. Naomi, what was your mama at? What was your mama at? Huh? I want to know. What was your mama at when you were in this industry? Hello. It's giving me Janet Combs type of tea, girl. No shade. That's what it's giving me without even tapping in. It's giving me Janet Combs type of tea, allegedly. Janet Combs type of tea, allegedly. I'll give a reading, honey. Don't play with me. Okay. Eve looked blessed and unstressed. No shade. She does. She does. And she found her man. Listen, and he's a cute man. Baby, listen. I almost want to open back up my escorting tea, girl, to be like, listen, celebrities only. Bitch, $20,000 a session. You know what? You know what? I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm about to open back up my escorting business, but I think that it's gonna be celebrities only, starting at $20K. And I think that I'm hoping that Eve and her man will call me. I'm hoping that a few other people will call me. Jocelyn and Ballistic, I hope they'll call me one day. I'm hoping that, a few other people, reach out and call me and say, girl, we like what we see. Come on over here. I'm down. But like I said, it starts at $20K and I need my deposit up front. How? Bitch, what? Girl, listen, I'm giving it some thought now, girl. I might need to touch on in this, honey. Hello. Even then, a lot of these people will report who report bad indirect celebrities are paid to. I agree with that too. I think that a lot of people, let's talk about this for a minute. I've signed NDAs. Some people I didn't have to sign NDA for because why would I tell people about my interaction with them? Why? I got proof, pictures, screenshots of text messages, of course, locked away. But this is for me, right? It's not for people. It's not to one day I'm going to come out and be like, hey, y'all, let's do a report on celebrities that I've been with. No, it's for me. It's for me to look back on one day and say, wow, I remember that experience. I remember going to, Bakersfield, California, and blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, I remember that time in Vegas. Oh my God, I remember that time. Yeah, there we go. It's for me, not for the world. Okay. You know what they say, you got to live in the moment. It's for me to say, oh my God, I remember I did that. But I do think a lot of people are paid. And I think that a lot of people stop getting paid. And because they stop getting paid, now they want to come out and expose and be upset. Next Top Model, all these people that are talking about Next Top Model, this was like 10 or 15 years ago. I think a lot of these people are like upset because their careers and shit didn't go nowhere. Have Eve ever come out? Ava Pickford or Eva Marcel, is that her name now? Have she ever come out and talk about how Tyra Banks was rude and disrespectful to her? She had bad experience with Tyra Banks. Can we talk about it? I do remember that some people came out and said that they thought that Tyra Banks was going to like hold their hand after they won the show. And Tyra Banks was like, no, I helped you get this far. The rest is on your own now. And I agree with that too. Just because I have my resources and connections, unless you're signing a contract with me, an exclusive contract with me to where I own you, what they call like a 360 deal, which means you get paid, I get paid. I'm not about to connect you with my resources. And that's with anything. Girl, unless I own you, unless you're signed to my agency, unless you're signed with my production company, I'm not about to sit here and connect with my resources, bitch, because now you can think you're going to come up on me and shut me down and get me out of, oh, we got to get rid of the middleman. And what we got to do, girl, listen, we know how the industry gets. So unless it's something in contract where we're signed for 10 years plus, stating that for 10 years, whatever money you make, it's mine too. Then I'll connect you with my resources because guess what? Now I'm getting some of the cut either way. But you're damn right. She molded you practically free because you didn't pay her shit. Could you imagine taking a master class from Tyra Banks or even Naomi Campbell? These are supermodels, whether they were paid or not. These are people that have been around the world that kind of know the industry, knows what to do behind the scenes and all that good shit. Could you imagine taking a master class and the only thing you got to do is just beat the fucking competition? Like, that's what it came down to. You took a master class for free and now you're upset because you didn't take advantage. And that's something too. Girl, a lot of these girls be out here, they did the show, they left, they made their connections and they still connected with the industry. What's her name? Jakira Jones. That's one example. Mama was somebody before she got in the industry, before she got on Love and Hip Hop, not Love and Hip Hop. Before she got, I think she was going to be on Love and Hip Hop. Is that what that is? Because I don't know why that just came right now. Before she got into the industry, she was in the industry. And Mama got America's Next Top Model, and that kind of gave her more exposure. So she made her connections, even more connections by being on America's Next Top Model. She's not pissy upset about Tyra Banks. I think she also said some things about Tyra Banks in her connection. But girl, like I said, a lot of these girls, they're paid, they're upset, the check stopped coming, and they're mad about it. They're looking back on, they're like, damn, I wish I still got paid because the episode just aired and I didn't get my cut from that. You're not getting a cut from that, girl. You signed the contract. Girl, you got on my show, you learned secrets from me for motherfucking free when I could be charging, I charge $2,500 a show during that time. Now that's worth $10,000 plus right now. I'm teaching this shit for free. And you think you're going to get royalties because your episode aired, bitch? Fuck you. So that's probably what the real tea is. Girl, take her to court if you don't like how she treated you. Did you go to a psychologist, a therapist because you were traumatized by how Tyra Banks treated you? The fuck out of here, girl. Stop. Girl, bye. And that'd be the gag too. These people probably got hit on by their man, probably got punched, spit on, pissed on, all the shit disrespected, got pregnant by a man, got left by a man. They're not taking this man to court for child support. They're not upset about this man. They're not calling the police on this man. This man's a deadbeat dad. They ain't saying none of that shit. But they come out talking about Tyra Banks was being cruel to me on the show. My feelings were hurt. Can we see a copy of the contract that you signed? Because hopefully you were smart enough to get a copy of it. You know why? I asked that? Because I got the copies of my shit. I hope that you were smart enough to have an attorney look over your contract. Because see, now it comes down to stupid twiddledum and twiddledee. I hope before you got on this fucking reality show, you had an attorney to look over this shit with you. You signed it, you got a copy of it, and I would love for you to show us the stipulations of what this contract showed. What did it say? But girl, like I said, girls want to play stupid and they want to act like they're den mothers and, oh, I feel so bad for these people. Girl, feel bad for yourself. The fuck out of here. Girl, Captain Save Hell. I feel so bad. I don't really care. And of course, we're not talking about my sister, but people, I just think that Tyra Banks is just an evil ass bitch and we're exposing Tyra Banks. I think I saw a YouTuber doing a video on that. Girl, and this motherfucker who did the video will never be a model. They will never. Bitch, he looks crazy as fuck. He looked like a cross between Eddie Murphy, Mr. Ed, and motherfucking Sylvester Stallone with blackface on. Bitch, the fuck out of here. Girl, that's why you mad. And then you let these girls come on your show because you thought it was a hot thing. Oh, I want a YouTube check. I need this video to get 20,000 views. Wrong. I still love Tyra Banks. Now, if it ever comes out that Tyra Banks was a part of a party I'm not fucking with Tyra Banks anymore. And I'm gonna give Tyra Banks a reading session for her motherfucking life. And I mean every word of that. If it comes out of Tyra Banks, which I don't feel that, I don't believe that. Maybe we could channel that energy. Spirits come on in here. Let me know what's going on with Tyra Banks. What is the darkest secrets that's being swept under the rug outside of ABOs and TDDs allegedly? That's what I'm seeing and feeling right now. But I want to know if she ever did something like that. Girl, Tyra, get a reading session for me. Honey, because I don't put my what am I supposed to say? I don't put my hands on fire for nobody. I'm not putting my hands on fire on a abuser, on a manipulator. But we know that Miss Naomi is a manipulator. We know that she's an abuser. And we could say allegedly because we wasn't there, but the court record says that she's an abuser, she's a manipulator. She's a fucking hit. She bitch, she throw phones at people. Girl, you gotta watch people like that. You say one word they don't like, you out of here. Girl, and no shade. No, let me not get into that. I remember Tsunami on a reality show where she was a bottle axe, no lie. Now me and Jamaica and Chinese, Jamaicans be going off. Oh, she's Jamaican, not African. Oh, excuse me. She's Jamaican and African. So there we go. She's Jamaican and African from London. So she's really thinking she's real bougie. What I want to know is, you know what? We'll give them a reading. We're gonna tap into that. No, I done seen some of these British guys, and they be packing. Oh, I know, honey. There was a guy out there. Can we give a shout out to my people out there? So, y'all, I'm going to London eventually because I got people out there in London. I need to see some of my people out here. Shout out to the London people, honey. My London lads, my Indian Londons, my Arabic Londons, my Jamaican Londons, everybody out there in London. Girl, when you say you're from London, you might as well say like you're, like American. Like, girl, American is not a race or whatever. It's a culture. But there was a guy, Jay, who was begging me to marry him. And this man every single day was sending me texts. When I tell you this man was tatted up, muscular, like I said, packing. He lived in a very beautiful home. He would always show me the house. And when you come, this is that. And of course, I got Anubis. So I was like, well, when I go, my dog's going to go too. And he's like, oh, yeah, he'll have his own everything. And he would just show me the little shit. And I remember I never knew that Versace, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, I never knew they made dog shit, right? I always thought it was just people shit. But he was like, I got a cute little Dolce & Gabbana carrying bag for your dog. Bitch, I was like, really? Let me see, because he don't have a dog. I was like, let me see. And he shows me, and I'm like, whoa. And he's like, but you got to come and get it. And I'm like, okay, I'll be there. And he's like, when you coming? When you coming? And he just every day. So y'all, of course, I felt so bad because at that time I did not have a passport. And I was just like, oh my God, I don't see myself going there anytime soon. Because I feel like if I go there, I'm not going to want to come back home. So I was like, oh my God, I don't see myself doing it. And so I just stopped talking to him. And he would send me text messages. He would send me emails. I just started ignoring it, y'all. And eventually he stopped contacting me. So, he's also an industry man, well known. I'm not going to get into no tea that, y'all could do it if y'all want to. Well known, well paid. But he definitely liked him some brown woman, some brown trans woman. And he didn't give a fuck about none of that. He saw it for what it was. And he said, baby, I love your energy. I need that skin with my skin. And baby, I love it. And I want to be with you. And I love your accent. I'm like, I didn't know that we have accents, but whatever. So there we go. Yes, and so they definitely. Eva Marcel is a conquering spirit like Tyra. And that's why you'll never hear Eva badmouth Miss Tyra. You said it. And another thing too, Eva is a boss bitch. That's what bosses do. Bosses don't throw other people under the bus. They let things be. That's how bosses move, honey. Bosses move differently. I just thought about right now, y'all. We talk about Dolce & Gabbana. I don't own anything Dolce & Gabbana. I need to go on their website and see what they got. I remember D&G. I don't own anything Dolce & Gabbana, honey. I got to see what they got up on there, honey. See if they got a cute little fanny pack or something, honey. Start off light, girl. Anyway, but yes, honey, Naomi got her own island too. Well, listen. Let me tell you something. they said that faces, and see, that's how I be thinking to myself too. I'll be like, when people be liking certain people, is it because they're sympathizing with their victim side and not the victimizing side? Because clearly Nami have been through some things, but you don't take your things out on other people. Like, I hate when people say that. You don't know what she been through. That's why she abusing people. Girl, could you imagine if everybody was like that? Like, fuck the dumb shit, girl. This bitch got a lot of money. Go to a fucking doctor, girl. You can pay for the best of the best. And matter of fact, your diet and your exercise deal with 90% of your fucking mood. If mama is losing weight through exercising, when you exercise, you release endorphins and stuff, y'all. Can we talk about it? If mama's exercising, she's already released endorphins. She's feeling good about herself. Now, I do know that drugs make you a little irritated, makes you snap out, pop, crickle, and shank out on people. And I'm not saying that she's on drugs. I'm just saying. That's why I never wanted to do drugs, girl, because I don't want to have to spaz out and tap out on people, and I'm going to jail because I had no control. Girl, bad. But I definitely think Naomi has a lot of stuff. I think Naomi is a ringleader on a lot of things as well. I think this is why they're hoping that PD to get released. I think that's why they're hoping that a lot of stuff get destroyed, things get shut down and closed out. You know, very lightly, politely, y'all, going into the Zeus stuff. You know, a lot of people off the Zeus network. I don't really care about the Zeus network. I never seen anything on the Zeus, the baddies or any of that. I think I saw some previews of like, what's that motherfucker's name? Oh my God. Bobby Light and the what's his name? Rolling Ray. They got into it, which it was giving me fake drama, no shade. But I was like, I'm not subscribing to this bullshit. Never subscribe to the shit. Something about that is just a little demonic. And if you don't know the story about Greece, girl, or excuse me, Greek mythology of Zeus, Zeus actually did not like humans. Zeus was actually upset that humans were gifted the power of fire. Zeus is connected to the Christian god Yahweh. Okay, he did not like humans. He did not care for human beings. He was really upset about us getting that gift. And so I'm like, I believe words have power, especially going into the industry shit. We know how shit get down. And so, you know, I'm looking at a lot of shit, you know, like I said, I won't get into that, you know, girl, because, you know, that gets to a whole another hour, 2-hour video. We you know, we can't stay here that long. But, a lot of these people that were on this reality show end up dying, end up getting murdered, y'all. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, maybe it just happened. I didn't realize, y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's not one or two people. And a lot of these people that were either auditioning to be on this show, because like we're thinking about like VH1 and like MTV, right? Chris Abrego and all this other stuff. People that audition for these shows, like out of 1 in every 1,000, 1 or 2 people died of mysterious circumstances. When I say mysterious circumstances, like something happened where somebody came and retaliated, or they were at a club and something happened to them. When you're looking at Zeus Network, this is such a small network. A lot of people who have either auditioned to be on a show, were on the way to audition, or who actually filmed for the show, end up leaving this earth. And I'm like, this just kind of show you on a smaller scale how this industry works. So this is a basic network that has some kind of basic D-list celebrity type of tea. No shade. No shade. We're just saying it's no shade. Could you imagine what like the Naomi Campbells and people up higher up, what they have, what type of pull they have? These people are considered gods and goddesses, not because, you know, we can't leave out Beyonce and them neither, girl. But could you imagine the shit they've been through, what they've witnessed, if they're not the actual perpetrator, but maybe they were the assistants to the perpetrator. Maybe they saw the shit happen, they turned the other cheek. Something that we saw with the Solange Knowles and Jay-Z elevator thing. Remember when Beyonce was just in this elevator as Jay-Z and Solange was going crazy? Could you imagine what situations Beyonce saw and was acting like she didn't see it? Was like, well, this ain't my business. I got nothing to do with this. Could you imagine this? Could you imagine? And that's just what that's what just keep replaying over and over in my head, y'all. And even going in deeper than this, because I talk about this with y'all several times, and I will keep this where this is at. So we can talk about industry stuff because I've done things with industry people. I've had industry people in my Rolodex, whether it was the spiritual stuff or the adult entertainment stuff. And even before I got into the adult entertainment stuff, I've dated two people that are known. They may not be known, singers, dancers, whatever, but they were known photographers and known sports people. Okay, I'm going to keep that there. But as a teenager, and I have a play cousin who was also part of this with me. So that would be the only person that can testify and be like, yes, I remember this. And maybe this type of trauma fucked him up, even though we really didn't get involved in nothing. But maybe just the idea of this going down, this kind of like opened him up. And he was on like one of these adult porn sites and shit too. As soon as he turned 18, I think he was like 17 at the time. Girl, don't quote me. I think he was like 17 at the time, not 18, but like about to be 17 and a half, and they let him get on. So I think that's why his life kind of went down another way. And even right now, he's over there, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But y'all, one of these industry people, a well-known industry person, was actually wanting to meet up with us. And I'm going to say me first, because of course I told this industry person, as I do a lot of times when I meet industry people, I don't meet up by myself because I need somebody to go with me as a testimony, or I don't know. I just feel secure with these people. And so I was young and I lied. I did tell my mom that I was going. Y'all, we confess a little bit right now. I did tell my mom that I was going to go work for Great America because at the time I was dating a guy who lived in San Jose, California, who was, Samoan. And anyway, that doesn't matter. And so he wanted to see me. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to see him. I'm going to tell my mom that I'm going to Great America, but I'm going to do something else. So I met this celebrity person off of a site. I'm not going to say the name of the site because I don't know if the site is still active. So like I said, that doesn't even really matter. I'm not even going to get into details about this shit either. But the crazy thing about it, y'all, two things happened in the situation. I was stuck in San Francisco, California. I was stuck in San Francisco, California. Y'all, San Francisco, California, have you ever been in San Francisco, California? That street is, that city is so busy. Like, girl, it's like New York. It's like fucking Times Square. Okay? It's like fucking Times Square. It's busy. Hustle and bustle, prostitutes, drug addicts, everybody, scammers, kidnappers, baby, girl, everybody there. So this guy, an industry person, and his manager was going to be meeting up with me. And of course, I told him my cousin was going to come and he was okay with it. And I think this is what made him ultimately flake, because something about me, I feel like people, like, they can hear how honest and open I am. So they're like, ooh, I don't trust this shit. I don't trust this bitch. And so that's what happened. So y'all, I just remember we were going around and he told me to look real cute. And so I don't know why, girl, but I think my brother had like a Louis Vuitton hat. He had a Louis Vuitton backpack because at the time my brother was doing strategic and doing. So he had all that. So I borrowed that shit, y'all. And then I ended up going to get on some Milani makeup, y'all. Y'all know Milani, the company. That was the very first makeup I put on. And I was 14, going on 15. And so, y'all, I was excited about meeting this person. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Now, of course, y'all, this is not a catfish situation because nowadays I'm seeing shit about people getting catfished by celebrities. This is not a catfish situation, girl. Right hand up, bitch, this is not a catfish situation because I was able to see that this was the person. I was able to speak to the person's manager, and the person also sent me pictures. So this was not, and these pictures that were sent to me were not like internet pictures. Like you could not, like back then you could not Google shit. It was like Ask Jeeves and shit, I think. Or yeah, I think it was Ask Jeeves and Google had just started to take over. Anyway, long story short, I was supposed to be meeting at this gas station and he wouldn't tell me the exact hotel he stayed at, but he kind of gave me an idea. And y'all, back then, I felt like my gifts were even stronger than what they are now. I mean, I think they're real strong now, but I think my gifts are even stronger then, where I would like know shit without knowing shit. And I told y'all these stories. I would call my mom too. My mom could tell y'all more. So y'all know I'm not making this shit up. But things would like come to me, and it would come to me as if I experienced it already and I didn't. And so either way, He wouldn't tell me exactly what hotel was at, but he wanted to meet me in a specific part of San Francisco. And my cousin knew the area. He was a very, active teenager, grown as fuck. Mama didn't give a fuck what he did. Grandma didn't give a fuck what he did. So, girl, he was experienced, girl. He was all in Hayward, Oakland. He was all up in fucking East Palo Alto. Girl, he was all up over there. But anyway, we ended up going there, y'all. This is a 3-day thing. We're getting ready. And the guy is telling me that he's performing in Frisco. And he's on tour with a lot of people. It's not just him. He's on tour with a lot of people. Y'all, when I tell you we're there and he could see us, because while we're on the phone, he's like, yeah, I see you. And I see your cousin too. My cousin's like, where the fuck is he at? He used to be crazy as fuck. He's like, where is he at? Because I'm tired. I'm ready to settle down, blah, blah, blah. Girl, the guy's like, yeah, I see you. Give me a moment and we'll be over there. So, y'all, I'm getting excited, right? Not even thinking anything. I'm getting excited. And before you know it, nobody showed up. So my cousin's like, you need to call him back. So I called him back. Hello? No answer. So then I called the other number, which is his manager's number. And he ended up, not answering either. But I'm like, what the fuck? This is weird because he saw us. So, of course, I'm looking around at everybody, y'all. Like, everybody who's pulling up at this gas station, y'all, on the corner of Market and 17th Street in San Francisco. They call it the Castro District. I'm looking at everybody like, where's he at? And, there's rooms and shit everywhere. So I'm like, where's he at? Like, he has to be somewhere over. They have to be somewhere over here. So after time went on, y'all, there was like 2 or 3 hours that went on, y'all. And this is the fucked up part about it, too, because we end up sleeping on the street. This was my first experience of being homeless. Okay. And of course, I brought this on myself because I shouldn't have lied to my mom. I should have, either told her the truth or I shouldn't even showed up, y'all, because this could have ended it. This could have been something totally different. This was a grown man. I was a little kid. And I was willing to meet with him as a fan, not thinking that anything could have went down, but y'all, this could have been some like human trafficking shit. This could have been like some molestation shit. And I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking of it as this is somebody that I like, somebody that I admire, someone that I'm a fan of. And he's also like, oh, I'm going to help these young people. I'm going to mentor them. I'm going to take them under my wings and grow by. And so we ended up going to the hotel that I assumed they were at because, y'all, there was hella tour buses there. And I asked my cousin, he was like, well, what make you think they're here? And I said, well, first of all, it's not too far from where we're at. And he saw what we had on. Like, he was describing everything. And I was even kind of freaky thinking about it now because he could have had like people there looking at us. So it could have been anybody. He could have called the fucking gas station and say, hey, do you see 2, kids there? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, and, playing this role. Y'all, when I tell you that this person came up and this scared the fuck out of me, y'all. It was a transgender woman. The sun was about to go down. She was crying. Snot was running down her nose and shit. She was crying. Y'all. And my cousin was asking her what happened. And I'm thinking, like, why the fuck does this even matter, bitch? Like, this is creepy as fuck. Like, girl, this was like a masculine trans person. So I was already scared. I was like, ooh, this is a big ass man. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, girl, it's creepy as fuck. And then so she started talking and she was like, I'm not going to tell y'all that, but it was like something like love your family. Like, she was just going on this rant, y'all. But I was like, what the fuck? Like, I always thought about that, y'all. Seeing this person, I always thought about it because they were probably like in their 40s during this time. But of course, we go into the hotel, y'all. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to ask the hotel, is this person here? So I came in there. I was like, hi. And they were like, hey. And I said, can you tell me if Blank is here? And she was like, is Blank here? And at this time, y'all, I didn't know. It took the next industry person that I met. It was consensual. Of course, I was of age. They were, it was no weird shit to let me know how things go down. A lot of times they book hotels under alias names or they'll get the hotel under their assistant name. That's why they'll never show their assistant. They never give out their name of their assistant. Also the good shit. And so either way, or their stylist, like you never know who their personal stylist and shit is. So they're like, yeah, there's nobody here by that name. And I'm like, you know who that is? Right? They're like, yeah. And so the lady was just looking at us like, what the fuck? And I knew she was lying. I was like, he is fucking here. I know he's here. So, of course, we walk out and the lady's on the phone, y'all. And I'm sure she was calling and saying, hey, there's 2 kids here. So, y'all, let me tell y'all how crazy this is. We called the number one more time because I was like, well, maybe we call the number. The phone is going to ring and we're going to hear it down here. Now, mind you, y'all, this is a fucking tall ass hotel. It had like 20 something floors, but it was tall as fuck. But in my mind, I was so irritated. And so I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this motherfucker is flaking. Like, girl, I was so upset. So I ended up calling that phone, and girl, it said, ding, ding, ding. We're sorry, the number that you're trying to reach has been disconnected, no longer service. And you feel like, and I was like, wait a minute. So I told my cousin, I said, call this number. So my cousin called the number. It says the same thing. And I'm like, how is this fucking possible? So y'all, at this point, I was freaked the fuck out. So of course, you know, our plan was to stay at his house in Fremont, California. He lived in Fremont, California. Our plans to stay at Fremont and go to his house, Fremont, California. But we missed the Mooney, y'all. And so we missed the Mooney by like 2 minutes. Oh my God, y'all. I was like, what the fuck are we going to do? And of course, he's like a ghetto ass gay person, y'all. If y'all don't believe in gay gangsters and shit, girl, y'all mistaken. He's like a gangster fucking gay guy. He was like, girl, like, ain't nothing gonna happen to you if anybody, you know, whatever, I'm gonna fuck him up. And so y'all, I was like crying and shit because I was like, oh my God, I gotta sleep on the streets. Y'all, I was scared. Y'all, I couldn't even fucking sleep. And I would doze off and he would stay up, or I would be up and he would go to sleep. And he's like, if something go down, you just tap me and I wake up. And of course, anybody that walk by, y'all, my scary ass, and he would jump up and be like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh my God. I thought, so y'all, this is like from this was probably like, I want to say 11 o'clock until like 6 a.m. Because the Mooney opened up at like 4:45 in the morning. Y'all, so for this whole time from 11 p.m., and mind y'all, I didn't sleep because I think I left from Stockton at like 6 in the morning the day before that. So this is almost 24 hours of being up. Y'all, my eyes are like bloodshot fucking red too. Girl, when I tell y'all, and I flat out my hair too, so girl, that shit was looking crazy as fuck, and I gelled it down too. Girl, we end up going into Carl's Jr., the Carl's Jr. person over there. Oh, you know, I got to go back to San Francisco, girl. I got to go visit this Carl's Jr. girl and see this person. You know, well, he's not there. No, I'm sure he's not there. But this man was so nice to us. He gave us free orange juice. And I had to tell him, I was like, we're not homeless. You know, I was like, we're not homeless. And he's like, oh, I don't think you're homeless. So I was like, okay. So girl, right there, girl, because I think the Carl's Jr. is 24/7. Girl, when that Mooney opened, girl, I'm sitting here like, girl, walking like a fucking zombie. We have to take the Mooney to the the Mooney took us all the way to fucking Oakland or Emeryville. Then we got on Emeryville to the motherfucking, was it the fucking, what was that railroad fucking called? It's not the A line, R line, all that shit. Girl, I took it from Emeryville to fucking Fremont. Then we got on Fremont, got on another train. At this point, he let me go because, bitch, he was like, bitch, I gotta go home. And I'm like, bitch, I gotta go home too. Bitch, I'm by myself. Oh, you know, girl, 5'7", probably 145 pounds at that time, girl. Have a Louis Vuitton backpack, Louis Vuitton hat on. Girl, I was cuter than a motherfucker, girl. Ooh! Anyway, girl, I had to take a motherfucking rail. What they call? Is it the Metro? What they call that in the Bay Area and shit? Like L line, R line, red line, green line. From there to fucking Dublin. And then in Dublin, I got on the motherfucking, was it Greyhound or Amtrak? And then it took me into Pleasanton. And then Pleasanton, I got on a Greyhound. Y'all, as I was getting closer to my house, y'all, I was getting excited. And I was getting emotional too because I was like, girl, oh my God, I can't believe I'm getting home. Girl, I got home. It was 3:30 p.m., y'all. 3:30 p.m. From 6 a.m. to 3:30 motherfucking p.m., girl, I'm traveling on fucking public transportation to get fucking home. Of course, I get home. My mom was like, oh, you're back early because I was supposed to be home in 2 days, not that day. Because, we were going to leave with this guy. We were going to go to LA and then we were going to go back up to motherfucking Northern California. So that's how it was going to be. Well, I was like, oh, you're back early. I was like, yeah. She was like, how was I was like, it's good. Yeah, I just remember I take a shower. Mama was like, your eyes are red as hell. I said, girl, I've been up since 5 a.m. because, I had to get on, I didn't lie about that part. But girl, listen, I got home. Y'all, I didn't eat at all either. Mind you, the only thing I had was a cup of orange juice that morning. Y'all, I got home, took a shower, lay my ass down, 3 o'clock, and I did not wake up until 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And of course, I was hungry. And my stepdad had a rule that we couldn't use the kitchen. And once the kitchen closed down at 9 o'clock, you can go in there and make shit, girl. And he would hear everything, bitch. And so, of course, he was getting up in an hour anyway for work. So, bitch, I had to play it cute, go back in my bed, lay down, girl. I was starving, y'all. I just remember I was gulping down that water. Like, I think I had some green tea at the time, too. And then around that time, anyway. I was just like, bitch, I have to, and that's what I'm saying too. That little thing I had, that little situation, y'all, and I'm saying all this because I know what, I know that's what kind of got me in and kind of intrigued with the industry in a sense, and kind of opened me up to other opportunities with other people. But so I know firsthand about like people doing fucked up ass shit, celebrities being fucked up ass people and being into kids and trafficking and shit. And back then I didn't know all that. But that's the kind of gave me my little push to be like, I want to get in the industry, but I don't know what I want to do. And of course, it was modeling. And shout out to my modeling manager out there. Her office was in Mercer Beach, California, honey. And Miss Thing, when listen, we'll say that for another time, y'all. We could be here all night telling y'all stories, shit, girl. My portfolio, my composites, girl, my modeling headshots, girl. We got all that still. We got a little old me, girl. Now, would I ever show y'all that? Probably the fuck not. Would I ever show, that say if my sisters want to say, I would definitely show y'all. Yes, I would definitely show y'all my headshots, mugshots, bitch. Why not? Hello? Bitch, why not? Okay. And girl, that's another thing too. And that was another perverted ass thing too. The fucking photographer girl I like, ooh, you got a nice build to you. I bet you we could just have a party and invite you over. And I'm looking back at this shit now, y'all, like, ooh, this is so disturbing. But he's like, ooh, yeah, you're nice built. You're a handsome, brown-skinned man. I could imagine if we had a party and we invited over some ladies, that would definitely get you one up on the other people. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, what the fuck does that mean? And I remember at that time, my management had a famous Latino comedian. I'm not going to say no names, but she had a famous Latino comedian. He's well known, even big now. She had like a singer, she had like a dancer, and then she had mostly like models though. And she was a manager. But y'all, she knew photographers and all that shit, girl. And then, girl, Macy passport. Now, let me start giving y'all TC. Y'all can look up images and shit of me, girl. That ain't gonna happen. Girl, y'all not pulling no shit up on me, honey. Hello. No. We're not going there, girl. Now it's gonna be pre-transition pictures coming out and shit. Girl, bye. You not getting my ass. And I still think I look soft and feminine even before transition. I think when I had my little mustache, I think it looked like it was a glued on mustache. It didn't even look real. Girl, the fuck out of here. But, y'all, there's a lot with a lot. So we know how the industry get down. And I know firsthand about the industry, the model industry, girl. I had books on it. I went to Barbizon Modeling School. Shout out to Barbizon Modeling School. Danielle Reese of Barbizon, bitch. Let's talk about it. Bitch, I was that bitch, girl, there, studying, learning, teaching, reading, each one teach one. Bitch, I was that girl. I was that femme queen. I was that pre-transitional brown skin goddess on the motherfucking runway, showing the girls how to slay and do all that. And girl, getting into photography, posing for the camera, knowing how to turn to the left, turn to right, look different without the girl. That be another thing too. Girls be acting like they be so photogenic. If you're so photogenic, you don't need no filter. If you're so photogenic, you could take a good picture without a filter because it's all about the angles. Before the filters, girl, we were the filters. Even wanting to get in your skin to look good. A lot of y'all don't even know, just 5 days of pure water and motherfucking vitamin C, girl, you look, and this is talking about taking this internally. Drinking a lot of water and taking vitamin C, 5 days, bitch, will give you flawless skin in a picture, girl. People will be like, damn, bitch, what, you got makeup on your whole body? No. Anyway, Let me go. I kind of work. I kind of welcomed. I overstand my welcome. Hey, Zaina, I should laugh at that. What should you laugh at, honey? Let me see. Zaina, right. What you laughing at, Zaina? Zaina, what you laughing at, honey? Oh, Zeus being Yahweh. Yes, Zeus is Yahweh. Yes, honey. Yes. They use Usurper as a way to maintain power of the minds of you said it. You said it. I also feel like somehow, some way, and I'm just being honest with you. I don't know this to be fact or not, but allegedly, because this came up, because it's like, what will be the purpose of Zeus Network? So something with the Zeus people somehow, some way, is connected to industry people, and so this was they owed this person some type of business, and he wanted to start his own production company and how he started his own production. Well, he wants to start his own production company. And so these people promised him his own production company. And how it was is, well, let's see what you can do. You're going to come out with your own network. We're going to give you the tools. We're going to give you the production. We're going to give you the camera people. But based on what you do with this, then it's gonna pull you in. Then of course they use this network as a way to funnel funds for other things. And of course, like I said, this is just stuff that's coming up. I don't know this to be exact. I don't know this from directly talking to people. Although, I'm thinking about it right now. I've met like two people who worked with Zeus Network over the years. I didn't get along with neither one of them. One of them actually wanted to fight me, and I told him flat out that you'll be one dead homo. No, I'm just being honest with y'all. And I didn't tell him that. Someone who I know told him that because he thought he was going to put his hands on me. And I said, baby, I don't play that. Bitch, man, woman, boy, girl, black, white, gay, straight, Christian, Muslim, blind, deaf, mute, or hearing. Bitch, I don't play about you putting your hands on me. Girl, I've had hands put on me before, girl. I'm a victim of domestic violence, girl. I'm fighting for my life. And girl, if you're making threats to me, girl, I was in fear of my life, Your Honor. I was in fear of my life. And so that's what it comes down to. And so I didn't get along with either one of them, but one of them for sure, I told him flat out, you put your hands on bitch, you're gone. Then he tried to like call somebody else who knew me, who were still cool, and was trying to be like, yeah, can you tell your training friend? And I said, bitch, excuse me? How would he like if I said, can you tell your AIDS infested homosexual friend? Like, girl, what? Like, who says shit like that, girl? I'm his friend because he don't know what the fuck it is. He don't know anything about me, girl. He's heard of things, but he don't know. You're talking like he know what's down there. Girl, I haven't had any type of public images since 20 motherfucking 18. Actually, 20 motherfucking 16. Bitch, you really want to get into it of nudity. So you don't know what's between my motherfucking legs, girl. You know what you heard and you know what you think. Girl, stop playing with me. And you don't know that was a strap on or not, girl. They have imitation dildos and strap. Girl, let me shut up. Let me shut up, man. Anyway, you don't know what that was. Okay. So there you go. Okay. Also, Nephilim is like the Greek word Nephili, which is a cloud spirit. Those who ascend from the sky. You said it. You said it, honey. Come on in here. Older industry people got that media training. You could tell compared to, you said it. There you go, Zaina. So Tyra Banks, I'm going to tell y'all this. I know for a fact going into modeling, going into me being a spokesperson, I was endorsed by a company. I was one of the industries I was in modeling was a showroom model. I did two things. I was an ambassador for a product that did not do well. It was actually out. It was supposed to be out for a long time. It was a sub group. It was a sub company to another company. And they didn't get no funding. So it didn't go on that long. I did sign a 5-year contract though. And unfortunately, the contract only lasted for like 6 months. Okay. I still have that as well. So either way, I know about the media training because they tell you all this. When you sign to an agency that's reputable, because you represent these companies, you represent these agencies. Nowadays, I don't know how management works because I don't have a manager or agent or anything right now for anything that I do. I told y'all before, I do manage some adult talent. I do kind of want to go full throttle with that. So I do want to also be the talent agent where I'm promoting, entertainers and stuff. But either way, but they train you on how to act and how not to act. They train you on even speaking, because even going into like, okay, let's talk about like Barbizon or what was the other school called? Casablanca modeling school. And then they had a few other ones around the Bay Area. There was another one that was actually kind of well known too, but they were very strict. They only wanted white people in this school. I won't throw them under the bus, but whatever. They have something called media training, and even going into how you speak. There's certain words they give you a list of words, and instead of saying how you doing, you would say this, or how to use certain words, how to be fun and jovial, even if you're upset. It was kind of like you were a mannequin. If you're not in a good mood, either you don't do any interviews or you pretend, and they would give you time. So, of course, in this course, they would give you mock interviews where they would say, okay, let's get you ready. You're not feeling good. Maybe you're really not. Maybe you had a long day. Maybe you're like me. You commuted a lot to the Bay Area to come back home. You kept doing that. Who knows? Now you get ready and girl, you just like shake it off. And now you're like, hi. How are you? Yes, I am blank, blank, blank. And today, and girl, there you are. You've been so fake. You've been so phony. And then they'll tell you, oh, you look too fake. Oh, you're smiling too hard. Oh, you're not laughing enough. Oh, you're not that. Oh, you're talking too much. You're telling too much. Ooh. So that also kind of taught me as well as to not speak unless you're spoken to. They also taught me don't just voluntarily say shit. Oh, hey, I want to tell y'all what I was doing today, even though you didn't ask me. So it's like Tyra Banks, and this was before my day. Right? This for me was in the middle of the 2010s. Okay, this is my story in the middle of the 2010s. So, in the 1990s, because these modeling schools modeled themselves out of these agencies, and these agencies also had their own little PR, departments and stuff. They had their little, courses and stuff too. Because I think even Janice Dickinson had her little agency, and she also had like training and stuff there. But they'll teach you how to act, even going into models and stuff. Bitch, you better not fight with nobody. I remember speaking right now, they had a guy that they signed from Arkansas, sexy guy too, sexy black guy, beautiful chocolate skin. He had tattoos all over. I remember him. I think he was like 19 or 20 at this time. And they were putting him on a good shows, girl, because he was very attractive. He had very good skin, very good body, but he had an attitude problem. And I remember, girl, my manager was like, we're going to start docking your pay. So because you cannot get it right, because bitch, you're fucking up for me. Because a lot of times, girl, going into this, there was a company, I'm not going to say the name of the company, but they were, looking for particular, black models, ethnic models. They wanted black, Asian, Hispanic to show up. If you were like exotic, they wanted you for better. So of course I was wearing contact shit during this time too, y'all. I was being marketed as a green-eyed. But anyway, I won't get into that. So what ended up happening was this motherfucker gets booked for a motherfucking show. And guess what happened? Now, of course, I'm taking this as he wanted to fuck these people. Because you're seeing all the shit in these shows, y'all. When you're doing fashion show stuff, girl, you seeing dick and balls, pussy, titties everywhere. Girl, they ripping the clothes off you, everything just dangling and shit. Some people got erections and shit. They fighting their erections, girl. They taping them back and shit, girl. It was crazy as fuck behind the scenes. And a lot of times, too, they put you up in a hotel, bitch. So that's another thing, too, to save money. Bitch, listen. And that's what I would say. Is this a hotel that we paying for and it's coming out of my check? Or this hotel that you just grouping us in because you want to save money as an agency? Because, baby, they will put you in a hotel. You be in this hotel for 3 days and you're in a hotel with 20 motherfucking people. And that's another thing, too, where I be thinking, how does hotels allow you to have 20 people in a room? But if I book a hotel, they will tell you you can only have at most 4 adults. How are they letting model agencies and shit put 16 models in a fucking room? Because that's how one of my first little weird experiences happened. Anyway, I won't get into that. That might come off weird to you. But I was like, girl, so you see everything. So what was going on, I think this motherfucker was getting excited about what was going on. He saw all these pretty ass black boys, white boys, and Hispanic boys. And I think he was getting so sexually aggressive and upset that he was fighting them because they wouldn't tell us exactly how the fight went down. But y'all, I was this close to being in that motherfucking show. And the crazy thing about it is they took a lot of editorial pictures. Girl, you would have been able to Google a picture right now of me and I would have been on a motherfucking magazine somewhere. Bitch, you would have probably had a video clip of me too in one of them fucking episodes. One of them motherfucking catwalk shit, girl. This motherfucker fucked it up. After he fought, those designers said, No more people from your agency. They blacklisted us, and they didn't call it blacklist at the time. They called it something else. But at that point, I was so infuriated, y'all. I said, "Baby, I'm gonna sign with 2 management teams." I called another management agency that only managed male models because, of course, that was before I transitioned. So, of course, that's what I presented as at the time. And of course, he was like, "Unfortunately, I don't have my agency no more, but I can connect you with some people." And girl, he had to hook up. But of course, when we connected, they asked me who my current management was, and I should have lied. I should have said my mom, or, oh, girl, that just pisses me off. And because, girl, they were paying you good. They were paying you like $800 a day. Plus, they gave you meals. Girl, they fed you. Girl, you had a house. You had a girl, they treat you like they were treating you like a fucking supermodel. And you weren't even fucking supermodel at that time. And girl, it wasn't anyway. That pissed me the fuck off. So when they found out who my management was, because at first I was like, well, they call her blank blank, but this is her name. They were like, we'll call you back. Okay. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. No call back. So of course I called back, leave a voicemail. Bitch, they didn't fucking answer. And then it dawned on me, like, they must know that. Oh, and then sure enough, girl, it was. Now I thought this was a back office girl, and they were gonna hook me up because I didn't know that, they tell you that the designers run the shit, but the designers have teams that work for them. So you could call like let's say the showroom, and then they could hook you up and pull you through and shit. But girl, no, they knew everything. They were like, "Oh, no, we're not working with that agency." So there you go. So I was like, oh my God. So I need to, and then of course I auditioned for other agencies. Shit, girl, they were like, I was too fat. Mind y'all, I look sick as fuck. If y'all saw these pictures, I can show you these pictures and cover up my face. I can show you these pictures. Bella's telling me to get off here, y'all. She barking. She want me to get the girl, y'all, my doggy mama want me to get off of here, y'all. I guess I gotta end this after I say this. So, girl, they told me because I had a fat ass. I show y'all the pictures too, y'all. I was already sticking bones. The bitch told me if I lose 20 more pounds, I could sign with them. Bitch, let's talk about it. There was 2 agencies, Next Model Management and Wilhelmina. Bitch, talk about if I drop 20 more pounds, I will be able to fit. And then the motherfucker who barely spoke motherfucking English got a motherfucking tell me that the skin was blotchy. Bitch, I had good skin, y'all. Bitch, I was passionate about my motherfucking skin, girl. When I tell y'all, girl, I was taking anti-aging creams and shit. I was barely even fucking 15, 16 years old, fucking putting on vitamin C moisturizer and shit, girl. Drinking, girl, doubting, girl, coconut water, apple juice, prune juice, water. Girl, I was down in this shit. The bitch gonna tell my skin was blotchy. So of course, I'm like, motherfucker, you telling me that my skin is blotchy because I'm black? Is that what you're telling me? That I'm black? That's why? Because then I'm looking through their little modeling thing, and girl, the only ethnic person they had was a Chinese man. Chinese boy. And y'all was excited, girl. Then I was like, let me audition for another one, girl. There was an agency in Milano, girl. I love Milano, Italy. Shout out to the Milanos out there, girl. Milan, Italy, girl. That is one place I'm going to really go because I loved it. There was an agency out there. I wanted to go. They told me if you book your ticket to come out here, you could do it. Of course, my mom was like, you're not going out of this country without me. And that ticket's going to cost too much money. And I ain't got it. And you ain't got it neither. But I was like, girl, imagine that, y'all. I would have been in Milano, Italy. I would have probably been speaking Italian fluently right now. I only know a few words right now, but I would have been speaking Italian fluently. I would have probably been married to an Italian man right now, And there you go, girl. There you go, girl. Yeah, maybe I wouldn't have been Madame Merkaba. Maybe I would have been Cazodura, Cazodura. Maybe I would have been that. I don't know. Let me go, y'all. So Yahweh is the God of the material world, is akin to the most of the chief gods in this mythology. Wait, what? Is he akin to most of the chief gods in these mythologies? Is the idea of which is taken from him and his followers? No. So if you actually look into, so we know that the Christian Bible is actually a copycat of the Roman and Greek. mythology and other shit, honey. It goes into the ancient Egypts too. If you know what Yahweh is and what Yahweh, stems from and all the good stuff, you will know what Zeus is and what Zeus stems from. In all reality, there's similarities to Zeus and Satan, but that is not the same energy. Okay? Likeliness, familiar energy, but that is not the same energy. Okay? So that's that. Ow! Yes, and like they have decorum, unlike the celebs. I was like, right. Yes, Milan, the fashion capital of the world. That's why I wanted to go. And there was an agency out there, and they were like, "You're from America? We love Americans. You're gonna come here. You're gonna live here. You're gonna be here for 30 days. We got a trial. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. Wait a minute. What was my email? Yahoo probably deleted my fucking email. I could have looked up the fucking agency that I reached out to, y'all. And I'm like, I could have reached out to them and said, hey, hey, boo, boo, boo. But anyway, they were giving me a rundown, y'all. You're gonna come here. We need you here for 30 days. We're gonna give you a test run. You're gonna show us what you can do. And also we prefer you to know a lot of stuff. We need you to have a talent. Do you have a talent? And I'm like, because at the time I could sing. I was like, I can sing. And they're like, can you dance? I was like, well, kinda. I watched a lot of Britney Spears and, Destiny Child and shit. So kinda. And they're like, no. Can you dance? I was like, kinda. They're like, well, no, you know what? Yeah. If not, we could work on that. But we need you to be able to act, sing, or dance. And we also need you to be able to model. And I was like, okay, well, that sounds exciting. And then, of course, I'm like looking around like, who can train me? So y'all want to take a dancing class. So I was like, I need to learn how to get my moves up. Girl, I took dancing class for one day, y'all. Bitch, I couldn't do them. I said, this ain't for me. Girl, dancing is not for me, girl. The whole skipping around and do, and 1, 2, 3. And y'all, listen, I remember things. I have very good memory. But that whole 1, 2, 1, 2, back, up, down, back, it. And then you got to put it all together. Oh, girl, listen, no, ma'am. Baby, listen, I signed up to be a model. I wanted to only be in front of the camera on the runway. I had to be on special runway shows because I wasn't that tall then, and there you go, and so I'm not here to dance. I'm not here to do any of that. And then, of course, they would try to tempt you, and they'll be like, well, there's an audition for this show or that show. And anyway, girl, I'm not even going to get into that, girl. I'm just like, girl, But I could have been one of those people, y'all. And we're not saying that my dream kind of passed me by, bitch. When I started seeing the shit as I got older, how the shit went down, and the people I dated kind of telling me the stories, and how one of the guys I dated, how he had a whole bunch of racist ass motherfucking friends. One of his friends actually died. Rest in hell, bitch. Racist that fuck used to love to make black jokes and all that. And he was like, "Oh, this is just an industry thing." Like, girl, what? Oh, honey, that I don't want to be a part of that. And then, you got to work your way up. And then what is working your way up? Well, when you first come on, you got to do the basic shit. You got to take any and everything. And then after that, you work your way up. And I think a lot of actors and actresses, I think that's how they get caught up. I think they settle for roles just because it's a role. And then it becomes typecast. And then that typecast, it keeps them, depends on what role they take, it keeps them in that role and in that pay rate. Well, I think other people kind of was like in that role, and then they met people and they're like, oh, I got to level up and da-da-da-da. Because anyway, I won't get into that. But yes, it's a lot with a lot, honey. You would have been Signora Romana. I know that's right, honey. Signora Romana. Come on in here, Jay. King of Sheba. Yahweh the dragon. Yes, honey. Come on. Kill the dragon. Kill it. The cannibal. The one that liked to eat lambs, goats, chickens, dogs, cats. And then we were saved by something and someone. And I love how Krishan, see, that's another thing too, y'all. Krishan with the tattoo on her face. Yes, honey. She had a song say Yahweh his way. And I'm like, girl, if you don't sit your demonic ass, fake Christian ass down, I'm sick of y'all. I'm sick of y'all, girl. Yahweh his way, Yahweh his way. Girl, do you know what Yahweh is? You know who he was? Girl, that was a fucking dragon. Girl, that was a fucking dragon, honey. The fuck? Good luck to that girl. Go ahead and give praises. Would Shango connect to that energy of Yahweh? No. No, Yahweh, Shango will not connect to that energy. The energy that Jupiter give me is everything, everywhere, all at once, like Shango, Perun, Shagdi, Thor, Baal, etc. Very Jupiterian. So how would I say this? So there's levels to these spheres. And we did a class on this too. I don't know if you remember that, Jay, but we did classes. So celestial bodies have rulership, and in each rulership, there's hierarchies in its rulership. So we have a light and dark, a left or right, a up or down. We have a lower, a middle, and an upper, right? Just like society, we have a lower class, middle class, and upper class. And so, of course, they're trying to get rid of the middle class. And of course, that's like them trying to get rid of the middle gods, the middle realm. Okay. So Yahweh is not in everything and all things. Just so happen Yahweh is connected to the Jupiter energy, and allegedly the planet Jupiter is named after him. But that is according to that type of mythology. But that is not the only energy of Jupiter. If you actually know, Jupiter is considered the oldest planet in our solar system. Jupiter alleged to be created after the sun. At one point in time, they believe that Jupiter was the original sun. And then this sun we have now is a borrowed sun. It's a fake sun. It's another planet that's on fire. A lot of people even, ask, what happened to the planet between Earth and Mars? And some people speculated that's what the sun actually is. The sun is actually that planet that caught on fire. But like I said, I'll get up off of that because that might be a little too deep for some people. Hello. And y'all not ready for that type of conversation right now. And so either way, there are levels to this. So just like people could say, I got money. There's money, there's wealth, and there's riches. Those are three different things. A lot of people got a lot of money, but they're not wealthy. And a lot of people are wealthy because wealthy is the highest. Rich, wealthy means unlimited sources. It's money that comes and comes and comes and comes and comes and comes and go. And even if you spend, you're going to still have. Rich means that you acquired a lot of money and you've maintained most of what you've acquired. Having a lot of money just means that you had it now, but of course it could be gone at any time because there's no substantial way of keeping that money. So the same thing with these energies, these celestial bodies. There's beings connected to these bodies, but they're not avatars of the other beings. So just like Jesus is a part of the planet Venus, he's not the only one, though. He's not the main one, because also Lucifer, oh, come on in here, it's also connected to the planet Venus. Can we talk about it? Is that a little too deep? Can we talk about it? Is that a little too deep? And Jesus and Lucifer is not the same energy. You see how that works? See how that work? Hello? See how that work? So that's how that works, is that every energy has multiple, even going into Earth. Let's keep it basic on Earth. Earth, we have three type of societies. Like I said, the lower class, and then they have their subcategories. We have the middle class, they have their subcategories, and we have the upper class. So there we go. We're not all the same. We're all human, but our mentality, our spending ways, our gaining ways are not all the same. And that's how that works. And so Yahweh is not connected to Shango. They can have similar energies there. And speaking of that, I was going to talk about that lightly too. There was somebody I used to watch back in the day, and this bitch had nerve to tell me she didn't tell me, somebody told me that she said, so I need to go look it up myself because they sent me the video. But she said she don't fuck with Oshun. And see, that's the same shit that T.S. Madison said too. Remember that? T.S. Madison said Oshun and that demonic ass shit. I don't know why these people be thinking that they so grand and they're so bigger, and then and it usually be the ones that be having to fucking suck to get their way to the top. They can't get it and maintain it the honest way. They have to sacrifice and turn people in and be informants and shit to get what they get. Can we talk about it? And then they act like they have a sad story that they were abused, neglected, and abandoned. And it's like, no, girl, you were a scammer. You got caught up in your scamming ass shit. And that's what happened. Girl, tell the truth. You were out there trying to rob the motherfucking people. They got you together. Now you act like you were a victim. You were a victim after you were victimizing. Can we talk about it? And that's why the people that you were around put you in fucked up ass situations because they knew you were also a scamming ass bitch. So they thought you were down with the program. And so that's why they brought the program to your fucking front door. That's why I don't do scammy ass shit. I don't fuck with scammy ass people because you're not getting me caught up in no scammy ass shit because you got to go and the people got to go too. And when I say got to go, girl, the police ain't being called. Hello? And so that's what it comes down to. Oshun is the lower vibrational demon. I'm like, no, I think y'all have the energy and the information switched all up. I think that you're afraid of that energy. As I always said, a lot of these Orishas and a lot of these Loas and also this, that people serve the servitor spirits. They serve the thoughts and ideas of these beings. They don't actually serve these beings. They don't connect with these beings. If they actually had an opportunity to be in the presence of these beings, they would crumble. They would disappear. They would have a whole bunch of shit going on, even going into how they talk, how they walk. The light would be with them. They wouldn't have to lie and cheat and steal to get ahead. They wouldn't have to fuck over people because they're going to be blessed. Regardless of what the world is going on around them, Oshun or that energy is going to shine through and get them through. Can we talk about it? And so the bitch had her nerve to fix her motherfucking mouth. And I've never seen this person, but I can, if we have to get it interpreted, rated, it's a heavy set, lighter skinned woman with possibly freckles around the cheeks, dark hair. Sometimes she like to dye her hair. I see some type of piercing on her nose or lip somewhere right there because I'm seeing it, but it's like shape shifting. So I don't know if she got above her lip pierced and the nostril pierced, or she want to get the lower pierce and nose pierce, but there's some type of facial pierce in there. But I'm like, it's always those type of people that want to talk about Oshun is low vibrational or that they're better than. And I'm like, girl, you can sit there and play all day long that you don't fuck with these spirits and these energies, but we know what you be given. Because a lot of times when you sell your soul to the devil, you will think you're greater than. You will think that you don't have to submit to any type of energy because you feel like you are the energy. Maybe if you fuck with somebody who told you because you got screwed on and fucked on and been dragged through the industry, everybody had their turn with you, raw dogging you and shit. Maybe you will start to think that you are some type of god or goddess and I'm above Oshun. Oshun is below me. You would say that because they had you thinking that while they were dogging you down. Oh, Oshun would have never did this to me. Of course she wouldn't have. So you notice they don't dog Yemaya. They don't dog Oya. They never say fuck Oya and her demonic ass. They'll say fuck Yemaya and her demonic ass. It's always Oshun and her demonic ass. You ain't never gonna get it, baby. You ain't never gonna get it. Let her be low vibration. You ain't never gonna get that energy, sis, because you did, you wouldn't be a lonely ass older bitch. And if you would be lonely, you would be paid still. You would still have your shit. You wouldn't be miserable and lonely and bummy and old and miserable with no kids, no man, no family, no nothing. But all the shit you lied and cheated to fucking get. So if that is low vibrational, you're higher vibrational, please show us what you can manifest. Because it's the battle of the fittest. It's who's the bigger and who's the better, who's the most powerful, is who got it and who don't got it. That's what it comes down to. Who got it and who don't got it. Because Oshun got it. Oshun can get it. Oshun can teach it. She was a teacher, a divinator, a fierce protector. Not to mention, she was very intuitive. She used what she had to get what she wanted. And man, that's why people are upset because she didn't have to haul around to get what she wanted. She used her body and her mind and her slick tongue to get her way through things. She didn't have to bust it, load, and drop it wide and take it raw and pretend to like people just to make sure she got something. That's called true class. That's called true education. That's called true power. When you can act like you give it up to get what you want versus you actually give it up to get what you want. A lot of people can't take that Oshun energy, honey. A lot of people can't take that Oshun. A lot of people can't take that Oshun energy. They can't take it. They can't. They want Oshun to be a host so bad. They want her to be a demonic energy so bad. They want her to be so low vibrational so bad. They want her to be the low-hanging fruit because they're the low-hanging fruit. They don't want to put some poise, some class, some elegance into their craft. But they want to say, oh, I don't have to do all that because she's low vibrational. Bitch, your mouth is low vibrational. Your anal cavity is low vibrational. Your vaginal cavity is low vibrational. Your fingers are low vibrational. The fact that you let every and anybody touch on you is low vibrational. The fact that you touch on anybody is low vibrational. You let everybody's privy to your energy. That's low vibrational, babe. Can we talk about it? You're not ready for that type of teaching, honey. You're not ready for that. Is everything okay? Okay, I clicked on it. Oh, that's right. That is very crazy, honey. I'm like, girl, what type of stories was she told? Who was she connected to? But it dawned on right now because I'm sitting here talking about it. It's that Lilith um, servitor spirit energy. There's that scorned. Um, I wish I could, but I know I would never type of energy. It's that, well, I have the education, so I'm above and beyond. Look, Bella want me to really get off the song, girl. She over here thinking that she playing and shit. Listen, y'all, I feel so good too. Before I got on here, I was cleaning up and organizing my little TV area, wipe down the shit over here, get rid of some of this pollen and dust. Y'all, I feel so good right now. I vacuumed a little bit over here too. I'm like, it looks like a whole new tea. I need the shampoo. Hopefully Friday. And yes, honey, get them to come here and do my filter and get my AC, honey, because it's starting to get warm, honey. Get this AC, honey. Okay. But anyway, come on, Bella. Right, honey. She over here playing with my shoes, honey. She over here playing with my shoes, honey, pulling off my shoestrings and shit. Girl, listen, Bella, if you bite my shoestring, I'm gonna take that shoestring and I'm gonna tap that little booty. She like playing in my shoes. She like playing in my motherfucking shoes, girl. What the hell is going on? She put her face all in my shoes and shit. Like, girl, what's going on over there? What's in my shoe? I catch her almost every night. Like, girl, what you in there doing? What's going on with the shoes over there? Do y'all dogs doing that? I don't know if she's in there licking the shoe. I don't know what she's doing, but her face is all in my shoe and shit. Like, girl, what's going on? Right, what's going on, honey? You better leave my shit alone. You better leave my shoe alone, girl. You better leave my motherfucking shoe alone. Leave your mama shoes 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 alone. I got my baby. I got my baby. I got my little baby. I got my little baby. Yeah, my little baby. Anyway, y'all, let me go, y'all. Loving like y'all. I've been here for how many hours? Oh, 3 hours and 28 minutes. Oh, I gotta go. Oh my God. 2 hours and 26 minutes. Oh my God. Oh my God, girl. I'm like, bitch, what? I still gotta go. Honey, I was supposed to wake up at motherfucking, well, I'm still gonna get up, 8 o'clock. So listen, go love and light, love and truth. We'll be back again in a couple of, shortly. We got a midnight medicine for y'all. Yes, honey. Listen, how dark do y'all want me to go? How deep do y'all need me to go on these midnight medicine? Are y'all ready to tap into some tea and really touch into some tea? Or y'all want to keep it light? Should we keep it light, polite? Should we keep it very light and polite and basic? And we want to touch on basics of blah, 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 blah. What do y'all want to do? Because, baby, we got some very dark tea, girl. Yes, honey. When I say dark, not like dark magic, but some creepy ass midnight metanoia. Beyond the 11th gate type of tea. Yes, girl. Mm-hmm. Yes, honey. Love and light. Yes, that's right. Love and light, love and truth, y'all. We will be back, okay? Bye, bye, bye.